World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5241, Trek. Brother Shen, let's leave here first, and I'll go gather my clone. Do you need to prepare anything? Palace Master Zhao King asked. Planting medicinal materials requires you to provide seedlings. Chen Shang said, give me as many seedlings as you want to plant. There is no soil in the inner space of the stars, so we can plant medicinal materials directly. Palace Master Zhao King was very puzzled by this. There will be, Chen Shang said. Okay, let's leave here first. Palace Master Shao Qing said, and brought Chen Shang into the teleportation array, and teleported away. In view of the general environment, this site may be closed at any time. Please move to the permanent source replacement app, oneyuanapp.com as soon as possible. After returning to the Taichu Academy on the ground, Palace Mistress Zhao King immediately went to summon her avatar, and at the same time arranged for people to prepare medicine seedlings for him. Chen Shang returned to his luxury suite. Palace Master Zhao King has no doubts about Chen Zhang's alchemy skills, but Chen Shang said that he can help Taichu Shuigong regain control of the market of pills in the whole city, which makes Palace Master Zhao King somewhat suspicious. Because this is something that even the capable people around the queen can't do, but Chen Shang said that he can do it, even though Chen Shang also needs her help. If he only provides avatars, it is not difficult for her at all. Palace Mistress Zhao King may lack everything, but she does not lack clones. In fact, when Chen Shang entered the inner space of Taurus Star, Sister Xiao Jing and Chen Shang had already discussed the plan. What needs to be done now is for Sister Xiao Jing to improve the seedlings and cultivate the seedlings to adapt to the environment of the star core space and the temperature here. For other people, this is very difficult, and it is impossible to do it at all, because only the medicine seedling itself is strong enough, that kind of super magic medicine, which can naturally resist high temperature growth. It's not that Taichu Shuigong has never thought about cultivating improved medicine seedlings the day after tomorrow, but it's really too difficult for them and it takes a lot of time. The reason why Chen Shang was able to do it was mainly because of the Fruit Monster clan. The ability of the Guoyao tribe to improve medicine seedlings is very powerful. It can be said that it is their talent, and it is also very against the sky. Sister Xiao Jing has already consulted with the Fruit Monster clan. They have seen the medicine seedlings in Taichu Heaven and Earth, and they are very confident that they can be improved successfully, and it doesn't take much time. Chen Shang received the medicine seedlings sent by Palace Master Zhao King one after another, and he handed them all over to the Fruit Monster clan. They said that it only takes 3 days to improve successfully. This is all improved by using their natural ability, which can withstand high temperature. Palace Master Zhao King didn't send anyone to keep an eye on Chen Shang, so Chen Shang could freely enter and leave the Taichu Academy Palace. Chen Shang ran outside quietly by himself, and then put a large amount of soil into the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower. The fruit monsters not only want to improve the medicine seedlings, they also need to improve the soil, so that various medicine seedlings can be planted in the core of the stars. With the cooperation of the Divine Mirror of 6 Paths, Chen Shang could easily collect a large amount of soil and enter it into the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower. There is also a star core in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower. The fruit monsters are now very skilled in using the power of the star core, so they will also use the energy of the star core to improve the medicine seedlings and soil. Chen Shang was very fortunate that some star cores were left inside the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower, and now they are of great use. You must know that these star cores are of great use even in the primordial world. Chen Shang ran around outside for a few days, dumped a lot of soil, and when he returned to his luxurious residence in the Taichu Academy, he saw 4 beauties waiting for him in the hall. They were the 4 Taichu saints arranged by Palace Master Zhao King before. Slaves, they are also clones of Palace Master Zhao King. Their main task now is not to stare at Chen Shang, but to serve him well, so their attitude towards Chen Shang has also changed a lot. When Chen Shang said he wanted to take a bath, they stepped forward to help him take off his clothes, and prepared hot water. Chen Shang soaked in the bathtub, and they also helped him wipe his back and so on. Chen Shang closed his eyes, enjoying himself comfortably. He didn't know when Palace Mistress Xiao Qing came, but suddenly heard her voice. Brother Shen, you will enjoy it. Let me tell you first, don't play tricks on them, anyway, they will serve you obediently, just don't bully them. Palace Master Zhao King came suddenly, scaring Chen Shang. Jump. Hey, I'm taking a shower. Chen Shang laughed awkwardly. I came here to tell you something important. I just received news from the palace that the palace sent 2 courtiers over 3 years ago to investigate the situation here and find a way to help me solve the problem. It should be here soon. Palace Mistress Xiaoqing said, I'm worried, they will stop your actions. Chen Shang frowned and said, Sir, are they from the 100 Flowers Temple? Palace Mistress Xiaoqing shook her head and said, It's possible, I'm not sure. Brother Shen, I can't bring outsiders into the Star Core space, I've violated the taboo before. Chen Shang smiled and said, Don't be afraid, the Scent Courtiers are here, and they will certainly not be able to do anything to the Three Saints sect. Since you are worried, you can wait for them to arrive, and then we will act according to the situation. Anyway, I have not yet get ready. Palace Master Xiaoqing nodded and said, Okay. After Palace Master Xiaoqing left, Chen Shang was guessing who would come. There were many women who knew alchemy in the 100 Flowers Temple. People like Su Meiyao, Hua Shangyu, and Feng Yuji should all be relatively important, and they certainly couldn't just leave the palace and come to such a small place, so the courtiers they sent here shouldn't be particularly important people. It might also be that Chen Shang didn't know it, because the 100 Flowers Temple also absorbed many women, and many of them were extremely talented in alchemy. Chen Shang had some expectations before. He might meet acquaintances, but now that he thinks about it carefully, he also knows that he will not send any powerful officials over. But there is also an advantage, that is, if these courtiers are from the 100 Flowers Temple, then Chen Shang can also learn about the affairs of the 100 Flowers Temple through them. Chen Shang was waiting for the Guoyao clan to finish handling the soil and medicine seedlings. After waiting for 2 days, Palace Master Xiaoqing sent someone to look for him, saying that the official sent by the palace had arrived at the Taichu School Palace. It took 3 years to rush here from the palace. Chen Shang felt very tormented when he thought about it. You must know that the people who came from the palace were not weak, and they also used a very fast artifact to walk for 3 years. It's scary just thinking about it. Chen Shang was also very curious, how did these 2 queens' servants come here along the way, and what did they go through? It stands to reason that it takes 3 years to come here, which is considered very fast. In the beginning, the world is not small. Even if you fly fast, it will take tens of thousands of years, or even tens of thousands of years, to come here from the central area, right? Quote. Chen Shang remembered that the heaven and earth in the absolute beginning were many times larger than the original 9 realms of purgatory, so it took 3 years to arrive, which also showed that the courtiers sent by the palace were very strong. Chen Shang changed into a set of clean white clothes, and followed the female saint slave to a living room. Palace Master Xiaoqing said that those 2 courtiers wanted to see her. She had already told them Chen Zhang's name, but they didn't express anything, which meant that the 2 queens' courtiers were very unfamiliar with Chen Zhang's name. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5242, Palace Master's Wrath. Chen Shang saw Palace Mistress Xiaoqing in the living room, and she was also sitting on the chairs on both sides of the living room, just like Chen Shang. She looked a little nervous, and deliberately kept a distance from Chen Shang, and didn't talk to Chen Shang too much. After Chen Shang waited for half an hour, he became a little impatient, then got up and sat down next to Palace Master Xiaoqing. Palace Mistress Xiaoqing frowned slightly, and shouted softly, Hey, sit on the opposite side. We can't make people look familiar. What are you afraid of? Chen Shang curled his lips and said, I promise, those 2 courtiers sent here can't solve the problem here. Palace Master Xiaoqing said in a low voice, Brother Shen, they are all the Queen's holy ministers, and they are 3rd-rank holy ministers. They have great power and high status. Wait a minute and let me talk about it. Eh? Chen Shang asked. They're rank 3 holy ministers. Then what rank are you? Palace Mistress Xiaoqing stuck out her tongue and said, I am the lowest rank 9. The 1st-rank saint minister is the highest, and above the 1st-rank saint minister is the king. There are many princes around the empress, and some princes are even sent out. Go to the various parts of the world of aboriginality. Not only are the holy ministers high in cultivation and strength, but they also have to govern the entire world of aboriginality. In short, the queen has many courtiers. After all, the world of aboriginality is also very big, right? Chen Shang nodded. If Empress Qingxing wanted to manage the entire absolute beginning world, it would indeed be a very large and complicated matter. So, these 2 3rd-rank holy officials are far above you. Don't you have to listen to what they say? Chen Shang suddenly had a bad feeling. That's good, but I won't listen to them blindly. If it's not good for the entire city of Jinyu, I can ignore them. After all, I still have to speak with my strength in the end. Palace Master Xiaoqing also saw Shen Zhang's worries, so it also shows that he still has some power. Chen Shang had a look of disbelief. Sister Zhao King, you don't look strong. The strength of third-rank holy officials is also higher than yours, right? Can you use your strength to talk to them? Palace Master Zhao King smiled and said, Brother Shen, I've said it all, what you see is just this little girl clone of me. My real deity has been practicing. My real deity is very strong, and there are quite a few avatars. Chen Shang asked, how about your other avatar's strength? Palace Master Zhao King said, cultivating avatars requires a lot of talent. I have a very good talent. I have cultivated avatars since I was a child, so many of my avatars appeared when I was very young and have grown up to now, so their strength is also great. Not weak. Chen Shang felt relieved a lot now. If Palace Mistress Zhao King couldn't restrain those two third-rank holy officials, he couldn't let go of his hands and feet to fight a big fight. Palace Master Zhao King also got impatient with waiting, and hummed softly, those two third-rank holy ministers didn't keep their promises at all. And they didn't come at the appointed time, they definitely did it on purpose, just to give me a get off your horse. Chen Shang asked, how were these third-rank holy ministers selected? Palace Master Zhao King said, it's all based on strength. There are three forces competing for the princes in the palace, namely the 100 Flowers Temple, the 3 saints, and the star people and star demons. If the third-rank saints sent here or the 3 saints sect or the star people will be very disadvantageous to us. Chen Shang remembered that the star people and star demons in this city had united with the 3 sacred sect, which meant that in the palace, the 3 sacred sect and the star people and star demons needed to join forces to fight against the 100 Flowers Temple. Palace Master Zhao King said, they haven't come for so long, it seems that they are definitely not from the 100 Flowers Temple. Chen Shang asked, Sister Zhao King, are the queen's courtiers all women? Palace Master Zhao King nodded and said, yes, from body to soul, it must be a woman. There used to be a star demon, who was obviously a man, but turned into a woman's body to mix in. The queen was furious at that time, and went directly to after being tortured. That guy is not dead now, he has been tortured all day long, and it has been hundreds of years. Chen Shang frowned and said, there are a lot of men, so the empress doesn't need them. Palace Master Zhao King said, of course it does. It's all about fighting, and the scale is huge, and the internal forces are also very complicated. Chen Shang chatted with Palace Mistress Zhao King for more than 2 hours before the 2 third-rank saints came slowly. They were all bald-headed women. Palace Master Zhao King secretly sent a voice transmission to Chen Shang, saying, they belong to the 3 saints cult. The most obvious sign of the holy ministers of the 3 saints cult in the palace is their bald heads. Palace Mistress Zhao King's complexion suddenly turned ugly, because the problems she was facing were all caused by the 3 saints sect, but now she sent the holy officials of the 3 saints sect over. These 2 bald-headed women are both bloated, with mean and arrogant faces, and their eyes are full of arrogance. This is the young alchemist. The alchemist of the ancient survivors. He is too young, and he is an ancient survivor. We can't let him make too many pills. It will be bad for Taichu Shuigong. The fat third-rank saint minister said in a very lazy voice. What's the name? Palace Master Zhao King asked. You don't have the right to know my name, you can just call us adults, and when you talk, you can't sit down, you have to bend over. The third-rank saint minister said. The problem you are facing is in conflict with the Sansheng Church, so on this issue, you must be patient. It is not a bad thing to hand over the medicine business to the Sansheng Church. And you, the Palace Master, have to sign an agreement with the Sansheng Church. You can't let the 3 saints resent the Taichu Academy, you know. The other third-rank minister also said coldly. Ha ha ha, Palace Master Zhao King burst out laughing after hearing what they said. Chen Shang also realized that something was wrong. This little girl gave people a very scary feeling now. What are you laughing at? You have to remember our words, all the elixir business in the holy city of Jinyu is handed over to the Sanshengjiao. They have gained everyone's recognition through their own strength, so your Taichu Academy, don't waste your energy competing, vicious competition will only lead to losses for everyone. The fat third-rank minister was a little annoyed when he saw Palace Master Zhao King laughing, and said loudly. At this time, several women wearing black armor and helmets walked in. It was obvious that they were all very tall. Although they were wearing armor, the armor was close-fitting, and their eyes were very similar to those of Palace Master Zhao King. What are you going to do? The third-rank minister immediately got up and said angrily. Of course I want to kill you 2 stupid and bad sows, go to hell. After Palace Mistress Zhao King finished speaking, the 7 female warriors in armor instantly unleashed their sabers, and a terrifying burst of divine power from the beginning gushed out. These 7 female warriors cooperated seamlessly, chopping thousands of knives in the blink of an eye. When Chen Shang came back to his senses, flesh and blood flew across the living room, and Palace Mistress Zhao King was beside Chen Shang, releasing a transparent wall to block the foul-smelling flesh and blood flying over. Chen Shang took a deep breath, and said, "Sister Zhao King, if you do this, the consequences will be very serious, right?" Palace Master Zhao King said, "It doesn't matter. It will be a few years before the palace sends someone again, let's talk about it then." Chen Shang also discovered now that the master of Taichu Academy Palace is not a good person. Especially Palace Mistress Zhao King in front of her, she looks like a girl, but her real body and avatar are very scary. It can be seen that she has done many such things secretly. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5243, Star Nucleus C. Chen Shang looked astonished, looking at Palace Mistress Zhao King in front of him. He remembered clearly that this little girl told him not to provoke the Sansheng Jiao, and not to provoke the Sansheng Jiao, but now, this little girl killed the Sansheng Jiao in one go, his 2 third-rank ministers. Chen Shang laughed and said, "Sister Zhao King, in order to prevent me from going to trouble with the 3 sacred sect, you specially found a few holy slaves to stare at me. But now you are actively provoking the 3 sacred sect, you kill it must be quite a trouble to lose their 3rd-rank holy minister, right?" Palace Master Zhao King gave Chen Shang a blank look, and said, "Brother Shen, I don't let you go to the 3 saints sect, because I'm afraid you will suffer. You are just a stunned young man who has just cultivated the divine beat of absolute beginning, you go to the 3 sages sect picking up trouble, isn't it that courting death?" Chen Shang now understands that the battle in the palace is very fierce. Palace Master Zhao King is obviously from the Queen's faction, and she is also with the 100 Flowers Temple, so the 3 saints and the Star Demon joined forces. Currently used, it is the most complete and most useful app for listening to books, integrated with 4 speech synthesis engines, over 100 kinds of timbres, and an artifact that supports offline reading, wanyuanapp.com source change app. Some things, we have to behave on the surface, but in secret, as long as we don't get seen, we can do whatever we want. Palace Master Zhao King waved her hand and ordered her avatar to clean up the scene, saying with a look of disdain, "In my territory, I'm still so arrogant, I really don't know how to write dead words." Chen Shang asked doubtfully, "Aren't you afraid that the 3 saints sect will pursue it?" The 3 saints sect should have known that there were 3rd-rank saints coming, but now they suddenly disappeared, and they must also know that 3rd-rank saints have come to Taichu Academy. Palace Master Zhao King said with a grin, "Brother Shen, you don't understand this. The Sansheng sect in the holy city of Jinyu also wished for the death of their 3rd-rank ministers. You also saw those 2 third-rank officials. How arrogant are the holy ministers? When they go to the 3 saints' palace in the holy city of Jinyu, they will definitely rely on their official positions and then take advantage of the 3 saints' palace." Chen Shang suddenly realized that this place is high and the emperor is far away. The 3 sacred sect and Starman and Star Demon here don't want people from the palace to intervene, because even people from their camp, if they find out that they are gaining benefits here, they will certainly not want a piece of the pie. Palace Master Zhao King said again, "The 2 idiots I slaughtered just now are 3rd-rank holy ministers who have just been promoted, and there is no one to support them, so they were arranged in such a remote place. If they know how to behave, if you don't put on airs or anything, it's fine." Chen Shang has now felt the struggle between human beings and all kinds of creatures in the absolute beginning heaven and earth. On the surface, everyone is well behaved, but secretly, it is turbulent. Just like that, Chen Shang returned to his residence, and now he also knew that it was Palace Master Zhao King who specially asked him to go over to watch that scene, just to tell him how the struggle in the heaven and earth in the absolute beginning was carried out. Chen Shang was just surprised, but he could accept it, after all he had seen many kinds of struggles. Palace Master Zhao King's goal here is to suppress the forces of the 3 saints and the Starman and the Star Demon, and then concentrate the power of the whole city to open the Star Gate, so that they can go to the Queen's side. At that time, Palace Master Zhao King will definitely become a minister, which is also Palace Master Zhao King's ambition. Therefore, after Palace Master Zhao King sees Chen Zhang's potential, he will do his best to ensure that Chen Shang can carry out his plan. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, that little girl is good at tricks. I was taken aback when I saw it, she has manipulations." Chen Shang nodded and said, so she is the palace master of Taichu Academy. Sister Xiaojing said, is your clear mind still useful? Chen Shang said, after I cultivated the absolute beginning divine orb, it will be useful. I can see that she is trustworthy, so I can rest assured. In order to advance the plan faster, Chen Shang asked Palace Master Zhao King to help collect a large amount of soil outside, put it in the storage artifact, and then hand it over to Chen Shang to pour it into the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower, and hand it over to the Fruit Monster clan to transform its soil. Now that it has stabilized, Chen Shang also postponed the time required for the plan, so that it can be carried out more comprehensively. And the next is also a very important link. Chen Shang improved the Dragon Saliva skill of Qinglong Magic skill. The Dragon Saliva condensed by the Dragon Saliva skill can speed up the growth of medicinal materials. Of course, if only Dragon Saliva is not enough, the Fruit Monster clan also has an innate ability, which is the Fruit Monster fertilizer they refine themselves. Chen Shang passed the improved Dragon Saliva Kung Fu to Palace Mistress Xiao Qing, and asked her to teach it to his clone. As long as Palace Master Zhao King meets, her avatar can be mastered quickly. This is the benefit of avatars. Chen Shang also reserved a hand in the Dragon Saliva skill. Even if they condensed a large amount of Dragon Saliva, the medicinal materials would not be able to grow quickly. It needed to be combined with the Fruit Demon fertilizer. The Guoyao people have grown steadily for many years in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower, and the number is very large, and they have not been counted. There are so many layers in the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower, and a single layer is very vast and can accommodate a large number of fruit demons. In addition, the energy of multiple star cores is enough for them to consume. The Fruit Demon clan and the others have produced a large amount of Fruit Demon fertilizers and stored them for many years. They have accumulated a lot, and they have become mountains. Next, Chen Shang began to release a large amount of improved soil, and Palace Master Zhao King ordered more than 20,000 clones of himself to help. What shocked Chen Shang was that Palace Mistress Zhao King's avatars were all powerful, and these were not all of her avatars. Her avatars were all young women with graceful figures and beautiful looks, and many of them were similar in appearance. Now Chen Shang is only controlling the flight of the Six Paths Divine Mirror to release the soil, and then the avatar of Palace Master Zhao King will push the soil flat. They don't need to do anything, just sit and watch. Sister Zhao King, you have so many clones, do they all have independent personalities? Chen Shang asked. Some people, some not, no matter whether they are there or not, they all listen to me and are completely loyal to me. Palace Mistress Zhao King said with a smile, these avatars of mine are also the strongest combat power of Taichu Academy in the holy city of Taurus. If you want to become the master of the Taichu Academy Palace, you must first have enough clones, and you can control multiple clones to fight. Chen Shang now also understands that Palace Mistress Zhao King's true self must be very strong. At first, he really thought that Palace Mistress was just a little girl, but now he realizes that he is really too naive. It is very possible that Palace Master Zhao King's avatars are spread all over the city, playing different identities, so that she can know the situation of the holy city of Jinyu. The improved soil is evenly placed in the inner space of the Taurus star. It is a very large area, hundreds of thousands of acres, and it will continue to expand in the future. Then began to plant medicinal materials. Chen Shang had shown before Palace Master Zhao King how to make medicinal materials grow rapidly. After seeing it, Palace Master Zhao King was so pleasantly surprised. When the medicinal materials are mature, then it will be alchemy. Palace Mistress Zhao King frowned and said, Brother Shen, are you going to teach my avatar how to make alchemy? It's very difficult. I can't even learn it. My avatar is even worse. I can't learn. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5244, Miraculous Puppet. Palace Master Zhao King already knew that Chen Shang needed a lot of avatars, mainly to learn the Dragon Saliva skill, and then to condense the Dragon Saliva, and then cooperate with that special fertilizer to make the medicinal materials grow and mature quickly. So she thought that Chen Shang would teach her alchemy next. Chen Shang smiled and said, Sister Zhao King, what are you thinking? I never said that I would teach you alchemy. Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, Brother Shen, even if I learn alchemy, my avatar will not be able to do it. Avatar alchemy is very difficult, because it requires a lot of concentration. There are also many powerful alchemists in the palace, but there are very few people who have successfully used the avatar to make alchemy. She still believed that Chen Shang just wanted to teach her alchemy, and now he didn't admit it, mainly to prevent her from thinking too much. Sister Zhao King, how is the pill furnace I told you to prepare earlier? Chen Shang did ask Palace Mistress Zhao King to prepare multiple alchemy furnaces before. The higher the quality the better. It is best to have an alchemy furnace that is close to the Wangpin artifact. Grandma and showed it to him before. Palace Master Zhao King said, I only get 20 now, is that enough? Chen Shang shook his head and said, not enough, the more the better. You continue to arrange manpower to find or refine it. It doesn't have to be a high-grade divine weapon pill furnace, a middle-grade one is also fine. Palace Master Zhao King nodded, then closed her eyes, and said, I'll arrange for my avatar to do it now. She was even more confused now, looking at the multiple avatars who were cultivating medicine fields in the inner space, and asked, Brother Shen, why do you need so many alchemy furnaces? I can't find so many alchemists. They will be poached by the three sacred sect. The only remaining alchemists in our Taichu Academy are too few, and their level is limited, so they cannot make alchemy quickly. Chen Shang smiled and said, you will know when the time comes. Palace Master Zhao King was so curious, she asked, Brother Shen, what do you need my avatar to do then? Chen Shang said, yes, you have to pick out the best avatar to help at that time, isn't that a problem? Every pill furnace needs a powerful avatar of yours. Of course it's no problem. Palace Mistress Zhao King nodded, and said, if you can make pills, even if you need 2 clones for each pill furnace. Chen Shang released a large amount of fruit demon fertilizer, piled up into 2 mountains, and told Xiao Qinggong how to use it. The fruit demon fertilizer looks like soil, but in fact, it only needs to be soaked with ambergris and buried near the planted medicinal materials. Palace Master Zhao King has a very high level of comprehension, and she can remember it very clearly. When the time comes, she only needs to control the avatar to operate it, and she will be able to complete all this very quickly. She now also knows that Chen Shang has not lived in vain for so many years. In her opinion, those miraculous fertilizers are the essence of Chen Zhang's life for so many years. Palace Master Zhao King has also sent 10 powerful avatars to follow Chen Shang to protect him. Chen Shang has now started the first step, which is to quickly plant a large amount of medicinal materials, and the Three Saints sect uses a large amount of flesh and blood to dismember corpses and cooperate with sorcery to plant. Palace Master Zhao King definitely cannot use this method. As for Chen Zhang's method of planting medicinal materials, Palace Master Zhao King has never heard of it. Chen Shang was also a little puzzled, because logically speaking, dragon saliva kung fu should be very common in 100 Flowers Temple, and it should be spread. There is also a possibility that the 100 Flowers Temple has no ability to improve the dragon saliva kung fu, which caused the dragon saliva kung fu to be unable to adapt to the medicinal materials of the absolute beginning heaven and earth, so they did not spread this skill. Chen Shang returned to his residence, and started the next step of work, which was to refine and create the Holy Soul Puppet. These Holy Soul Pill puppets don't need to be refined into humanoid puppets, as long as they are in the state of soul. Chen Shang will integrate them into the pill furnace, and after that, just put the medicinal materials into the pill furnace and inject flames. The Holy Soul Pill puppets will control the pill furnace alchemy. Chen Shang originally had a large number of Holy Soul Pill puppets, and he could use them with a little modification. He asked Xiao Qinggong to order a pill furnace, and then began to make fine adjustments so that the Holy Soul Pill puppet could be fused with the pill furnace. This process is also very difficult, and only Chen Shang, who is extremely familiar with the technique of Tianlian, can do this kind of thing, and no one else dares to think about it. In view of the general environment, this site may be closed at any time. Please move to the permanent source replacement app, oneyuanapp.com as soon as possible. Palace Master Zhao King found a total of more than 200 alchemy furnaces, most of which were middle-grade artifacts, and only a dozen or so high-grade artifacts, but it was enough. Chen Shang then started to adjust the Holy Soul Pill in his hand, and then he also learned to refine other divine pills. Taichu Shengyuanshan Pill is relatively commonly used. The medicinal materials currently planted are mainly used to refine Taichu Shengyuanshan Pill. It belongs to the middle-grade and top-grade pills. Ordinary alchemists, who can refine the middle-grade Taichu Shengyuanshan Pill, are considered to be very good. Chen Shang will soon be able to refine the Ancestor Shengyuan Pill, which is a piece of cake for him, and he can directly refine the top-grade Ancestor Shengyuan Pill, which is of very high quality. After his debugging, the Holy Soul Pill puppets are fused with the pill furnace, and those Holy Soul Pill puppets can now automatically refine the Huazu Shendan and Taichu Shengyuan Shendan, which can be refined from low, middle and high grades. Then Chen Shang separated 4 strands of soul, and put them into 4 beads to refine. To control the holy soul pill puppet, he needed to use these beads. What's more, Chen Shang can destroy those 4 beads with a single thought, preventing the holy soul pill puppet from falling into other people's hands. As long as the beads are destroyed, no one can control the holy soul pill puppet to make alchemy. Chen Shang did all these well, and then called Palace Master Zhao King. He first demonstrated it live for Palace Master Zhao King. After reading it, Palace Master Zhao King was stunned for a moment. It was hard for her to imagine how advanced Chen Zhang's alchemy skills were. He was obviously just an ancient remnant, but the alchemy skills he mastered overturned her cognition. Palace Master Zhao King took a few deep breaths, and asked, "Brother Shen, did you take any effort to get those holy soul pill puppets? Did you make them these few days?" Chen Shang smiled and said, "I already have a lot of holy soul pill puppets, I just simply reformed them." His holy soul pill puppet was refined with the technique of heavenly alchemy. It can be said that he transformed part of the technique of heavenly alchemy into divine thoughts, and then integrated them into the soul, which is something that ordinary people can hardly imagine. Palace Master Zhao King couldn't understand it. Although she really wanted to know how it was made, she also understood that this was not something she could understand. After all, she couldn't even learn alchemy. Next, you control the avatar to keep an eye on those pill furnaces, and just inject the flames into it. Chen Shang said with a smile. Leave the rest to the holy soul pill puppet, and the pill stove can produce pills by itself. It is necessary to transform the pearl god pill or the primordial spirit pill in the early days. Remember to order the holy soul pill in advance. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5245, Primordial Death. Brother Shen, thank you for your hard work. You go to rest first, and then I will ask someone to send you some books about stargates for you to read. Palace Master Zhao King said with a smile. Okay, I'll go back to Taichu Academy to rest first. Chen Shang nodded. Chen Shang did this mainly to make the Golden Bull Holy City develop. The Taichu Academy here can build stargates, and he can find Empress Qingxing faster. There is another great advantage, that is, Chen Shang doesn't need to make alchemy by himself. He can quickly obtain a lot of pills to improve his cultivation, and he can quickly break through and improve. He has a group of purgatory saints to support, and he also needs a lot of pills. Now that he is working with Palace Master Zhao King, he only needs to be busy in the early stage, and he doesn't have to do anything later. This Taichu Academy Palace looks like a large circular building from the outside, like a star, but the inside is also very complicated, with many secret and strong rooms. Palace Master Zhao King also wanted to keep their plans secret, so she supervised the Taichu School Palace more closely, and she used more avatars to patrol and detect people who were close to the Taichu School Palace. She can only feel more at ease when she uses her avatar. The alchemy and medicine are all her avatar, and she can indeed keep it very strictly confidential. At that time, as long as a large amount of magic pills are refined, the Sanshengjiao will be caught off guard. Taichu Shuigong doesn't mind selling the pills very cheaply, because raising the cultivation level of humans and star beasts and star demons here is what Taichu Shuigong has to do. Chen Shang guessed that after the human beings and star demons and beasts here improve their cultivation, they can bring abundant resources to the city, and then they will be able to build stargates. Chen Shang had seen the stargate blueprint given by Palace Master Shao Qing. It was very complicated and required a lot of manpower and material resources, as well as various materials. Just having resources was not enough, it also needed the help of many powerful people or star beasts and star demons. The Stargate is not built somewhere in the city, but occupies a large area of AA Taurus. If it is to be built in a short period of time, more investment is required. Chen Shang also read the records in the books given by Palace Master Zhao King. The reason why some Taichu school palaces failed was because they were destroyed halfway through the construction. As for why it was destroyed, there is no record in the book, but Chen Shang has seen many cases like this. He quickly looked through the construction records of various stargates. It can be said that 9 out of 10 were destroyed by external forces during the construction process, but there was no detailed record of the external forces. The more Chen Shang looked at it, the more he felt puzzled. What kind of unknown powerful external force is there in this world of primordial beginning? He opened the door of the room, and there were several women sitting outside the hall. They were all clones of Palace Mistress Zhao King, and they were also arranged by Palace Mistress Zhao King to serve and protect Chen Shang. I want to see Palace Master Zhao King, can I call her? Chen Shang asked. Yes. A woman replied. They only need to close their eyes, and they can communicate with each other through the induction between the avatar and the deity. They have independent personalities and independent thoughts, so they cannot directly answer Chen Zhang's question. Not long after, the little girl-like palace master Zhao King came. The reason why she used this little girl's avatar to communicate with Chen Shang was mainly because her avatar had a relatively large authority and knew many things that the avatar did not know. It can be said that this little girl's avatar knows as much as her true self. Palace Master Zhao King's main body is hidden and is cultivating all the time. The same is true for other powerful avatars. They are all hurrying to practice, and the little girl's avatar is specially used to manage Taichu Shuigong, so that her main body will not be delayed in the practice of those powerful avatars. Brother Shen, what's the matter? Is there anything urgent? Palace Master Zhao King entered Chen Zhang's room, and saw Chen Shang sitting beside the table, reading books related to Stargate. Why are the Stargates destroyed by external forces during the construction process? What kind of external force is it? Chen Shang asked. You seem to have kept this a secret. You have hidden many secrets, and did not record in detail what the external force is. This, Palace Master Zhao King sighed softly, and said, actually, it's not just us. The Sansheng sect also encountered the same problem when they built the Stargate, and it was destroyed by external forces. Chen Shang asked, what external force? Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, I don't really know, even I don't know. Anyway, that's what is recorded in the books, and the condition for building a Stargate is that a very strong force is needed to protect the construction process. You should know this. Chen Shang also realized that this matter is not simple. He guessed, the so-called external force, could it be, multiple forces are preventing each other from building Stargates? Palace Master Zhao King frowned, shook her head lightly, and said, I've thought about it, but it's unlikely. Because this kind of external force must be very strong. After all, when you have the ability to build a Stargate, the guardian force is very strong. It's not easy to destroy it. Chen Shang asked, is there a way to find out what's going on? Palace Master Zhao King thought for a while, and said, perhaps the first-rank sages and those princes may know. It will take more than a year to reach the prince's territory closest to us at the earliest. Chen Shang said, it's too far away. Palace Master Zhao King nodded, and said, even if we go to Wangju's territory, they may not tell us. But I will ask the palace for instructions, hoping to get a response. Chen Shang continued to read the materials about the Stargate, and Palace Master Shaoqing also returned to the ground to guide the work. At night, the sky was full of stars. Chen Shang came to the top floor of Taichu Academy Palace and looked at the stars in the sky. Ling Shu, Chen Shang called his apprentice. Master, what's the matter? Ling Shu asked. I've had a good time in this city during this time, but there are some things I want to ask you. Chen Shang told Ling Shu about the construction of the Stargate. He wanted to see if Ling Shu knew about the destruction of the Stargate by external force. After hearing this, Ling Shu frowned and said, external force. Although I am above the starry sky, I can only sense the stars and their positions on the ground. I should not be able to see all kinds of wars on the ground. Chen Shang frowned and said, it's strange. What kind of external force will destroy the Stargate's construction? Ling Shu suddenly said, Master, there is a possibility. It is the power from the dead world in the beginning. Absolutely dead realm, Chen Shang said in surprise, the dead world, or what? That is to say, after the ancient purgatory was transformed into the primordial world, many creatures died, even the star spirits of the stars. These numbers are very large, and this force may also open up a world that belongs to them. Ling Shu said, of course, this is just my speculation. Chen Shang thought about it carefully, and also felt that there was a possibility. Many disasters happened in Tiangu Purgatory at that time. For example, the original 18th floor of Purgatory collapsed one after another, and a large number of living beings died. After transforming into the absolute beginning heaven and earth, the same is true. This powerful undead is very likely to open up a space, and overlap with the heaven and earth in the beginning. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5246, God of the Beginning. Chen Shang and Ling Shu began to discuss the possibility of the death world in the beginning, and Ling Shu began to speculate on the formation of the death world in the beginning based on some clues he had grasped. Although this is only a speculation by Ling Shu, Chen Shang thinks that the possibility is very high. So many creatures died back then, and the souls of these creatures are so powerful, it is impossible for them to turn into energy after their souls are scattered. If their souls are still there, and they gather again, it is very possible to open up a space of their own. Because the soul floating in the universe or the starry sky is quite dangerous, if it is encountered by a powerful creature in the universe, it will be absorbed and swallowed. And souls move very fast, and are difficult to be torn apart by the energy between heaven and earth, so these souls will gather together, which can make them safer. Over time, after many years, a large number of souls gathered, and released very strong soul fluctuations, attracting more souls, and then opened up a space that belonged to them. In that space, they can also obtain the energy of the primordial world, and then derive their practice rules. Ling Shu said, Master, I'm not making random assumptions, because in the starry sky, there was once a very strange and powerful energy gathered, and then it disappeared. After communicating and discussing with each other, we all thought it was possible the world of primordial death appeared. Chen Shang wondered, if there really is a world of death in the beginning, why did they stop the construction of the Stargate? Ling Shu said, it must be stopped. Because the Stargate spans space, it is very likely to affect the stability of their space, or accidentally break into their space. When Ling Shu said this, Chen Shang thought it was more possible. The Imperial Palace seems to be deliberately concealing this matter. All Taichu schools aim to build stargates, but they don't tell this about it. Why? Chen Shang couldn't figure this out, not just the Imperial Palace, the same is true for the Sanshengjiao. I'm not sure about this, there may be other reasons. Master, those first-rank ministers and princes in the palace you mentioned, they should have been in contact with the death world in the beginning, and know more about this aspect. Ling Shu said, I can only ask them. Ling Shu, try your best to inquire about this matter for me in the starry sky. Chen Shang said, maybe some of the star spirits in the starry sky have come into contact with the death world of the beginning. Ling Shu said, okay, I'll go right away. Chen Shang is not completely sure yet, but if he wants to build a stargate, he must figure out this matter, because this is the biggest obstacle to building a stargate. Palace Master Zhao King had read many books related to the construction of stargates before, and she also knew that many of the stargates in Taichu Academy were destroyed by external forces, but she didn't care because she felt that she was too far away from building stargates, far away. And at the moment, with Chen Shang joining in and providing the amazing medicinal planting technique and alchemy technique, Palace Master Zhao King also knew that he was not too far away from building a stargate. So she also attaches great importance to this matter at this time, and is trying to find a way to contact the palace to find out the reason. Palace Master Zhao King would come to Chen Shang from time to time to report the progress of the medicine field in the star core space. Chen Shang had already eaten the absolute beginning primordial spirit pill refined by the holy soul pill puppet, and he had also obtained a lot of transformation bead god pills. In the past few days, he has also used the world-defying furnace to refine many flaming primordial souls through his own flames. If you want to cultivate the divine bead of absolute beginning, you need to fuse the Tao soul of absolute beginning. Shui Shengxiang and Narcissus Ying helped the Girls of Purgatory Sacred Girls group to fuse those flame absolute primordial Tao souls, and then began to practice by eating the Pearl of Essence. Under Chen Zhang's guidance, their cultivation has been very smooth. Now that there are enough divine pills, 1,000 purgatory saints can cultivate the divine orb of absolute beginning. Chen Shang also gave a lot of medicinal materials to the fruit monster clan and them. If they planted them, the purgatory saintess group would be able to use the holy soul puppet to refine alchemy in the immortal war Xuanmo Tower, and they would be self-sufficient. And purgatory saintess group is also the strength that Chen Shang wants to cultivate secretly. If their cultivation bases are very high, plus they have experienced the experience of the ancient purgatory period, they will have great advantages in all aspects of mood. After their strength increases, is definitely very powerful. As for how to compete with the Sanshengjiao, that is the main concern of Xiao Qinggong. Palace Master Zhao King also promised Chen Shang that she would give Chen Shang pills regularly. She didn't ask why Chen Shang wanted so many pills, she just guessed what Chen Shang was messing with, to fuse and refine super pills or something. Chen Shang himself is also cultivating. After cultivating the divine bead of absolute beginning, the next training is to use the divine bead of absolute beginning as a basis to improve the divine power of absolute beginning. Generally, any breakthrough will be reflected in the divine bead of absolute beginning. The most common breakthrough is that there will be a circle of lines on the divine bead of absolute beginning, which is called the divine pattern of absolute beginning. There are other abnormal situations, not the appearance of the God of absolute beginning, and there are many types. Palace Master Zhao King told Chen Shang that her divine beat of absolute beginning was not of the type of divine pattern of absolute beginning, and those who cultivated the divine pattern of absolute beginning were relatively ordinary. Generally speaking, they would be very mediocre, and there would be no outstanding ones. And Chen Shang looked at his divine beat of absolute beginning. There was a circle of divine ancestors pattern on it. This was a very common expression, and his divine ancestors pattern was still very straight, like a straight line. Generally speaking, the gods of the beginning have lines, and each person's lines are different. Palace Master Zhao King's divine orb of absolute beginning has stars appearing, and if it appears a little, it is the first level. After Chen Shang practiced for a while, he didn't pay much attention to it. He now has 2 circles of absolute beginning divine mark, which is the second level of absolute beginning realm. After the breakthrough, he could also feel that the divine power in the early days had improved significantly. Palace Master Zhao King came to look for Chen Shang again, mainly because she had good news. In the room, Palace Master Zhao King said with a grin, "Brother Shen, there is news from the palace. They know that the 2 third-rank saints are dead, so they will send new saints over to investigate the 2 third-rank saints. The cause of death of the holy minister." Chen Shang looked puzzled, and asked, "Zhao King, why are you happy? This is not good news." Chen Shang and Palace Mistress Zhao King have become more and more familiar with each other this month, and Chen Shang also called Zhao King directly. Palace Master Zhao King said with a smile, "Because they sent ministers from the territory of the prince next door. The territory of the prince closest to us belongs to the Temple of 100 Flowers. It is beneficial to us, and it will definitely not be like the Sansheng sect. Guy like that. Really? Then do you know which prince it is?" Chen Shang hurriedly asked. He felt that if it was the Prince of 100 Flowers Temple, maybe he knew him. "I don't know, it's kept secret. I only know that it's the Prince of the 100 Flowers Temple." Palace Mistress Zhao King shook her head and said, "In short, they treat us very well. When the time comes to investigate or something, I guess they will just fool around." World Defying Dan God Chapter 5247, 3 Holy Hierarchs. When Chen Shang heard that the Scent Saint belonged to the 100 Flowers Temple camp, he was quite happy at first, but after thinking about it carefully, he still felt very uneasy, and this matter must not be that simple. After all, the third-rank ministers of the 3 saints sect are dead, so it seems too peaceful now, right? These days, Chen Shang has also learned about the structure of the dynasty of the absolute beginning heaven and earth, and the status of third-rank holy ministers is not low. Although the mountains are high here and the emperor is far away, and the local forces of the 3 saints in the holy city of Jinyu want to go alone, but after a third-rank saint minister dies here, there will definitely be various forces in the palace making a big fuss, and then attacking each other with this. That is to say, after the result of the fight in the palace, it will soon affect the holy city of Taurus. So this matter is not as optimistic as Palace Mistress Zhao King thinks, and it won't be so easy to fool around. Chen Shang thought carefully for a moment, and said seriously, "Zhao King, even if it is a holy minister sent by the 100 Flowers Temple, we have to be on guard. It is very likely that the 100 Flowers Temple will control the situation, or sacrifice you if necessary. Lose." Palace Master Zhao King didn't take it seriously, and said with a smile, "Brother, how is this possible? The Temple of 100 Flowers and the Empress are of the same heart. And our Taichu Shui Palace is on the Queen's side, and the Temple of 100 Flowers will definitely face us." Chen Shang shook his head and said, "Zhao King, you don't understand. If the struggle in the imperial palace is very fierce, and you kill the third-rank ministers of the 3 saints sect, it will put the Queen and the 100 Flowers Temple at a disadvantage, so after they weigh it, they may choose sacrifice you, or even sacrifice the entire Golden Bull Holy City, and give everything here to the 3 saints." Chen Shang is very clear about the meaning of the Taichu Academy Palace in the holy city of Taurus. As long as he masters the Taichu Academy Palace here, it means mastering the huge underground Taurus star. The 3 sacred sect, the Starman, the Star Demon, and the Qingxing Queen, these 3 forces have been fighting openly and secretly for many years, mainly for the control of the underground stars. Those underground stars represent powerful power, and they are all very important resources. Because the heaven and the earth are too big in the beginning, and each underground star is very far away, communication is inconvenient, and there is very little communication between the stars, so the giants on the stars are not very clear about the situation on each star. Chen Shang is very sure that even if the 3 sacred sect here becomes the emperor, they will help them when the 3 sacred sect needs it. After all, they all live and die together. The multi-party forces are fighting, and the final result is to destroy each other, and it is difficult to be alone. Palace Mistress Zhao King also seemed to have gradually thought of something. After all, she hadn't thought that far, because she always believed that there would be a tacit balance between the three saints and the queen, and peace would be made at about the same time. But what if the worst happens? Chen Shang said again. The holy ministers sent by the three saints sect have no background, they are all small shrimps, but they have a bad temper. Moreover, the three saints sect seems to understand your character, knowing that you will definitely take action to destroy them. So, Zhao King, you are most likely to fall into their trap. Palace Master Zhao King hurriedly said. So, the 100 Flowers Temple sent the holy officials here, either to take over or to kill me. Chen Shang shook his head and said, I don't know, so be vigilant. After the Empress takes over the Jinyu Taichu Academy, you can give it to the three saints, or you can keep it yourself, and then push you to the three saints to calm the storm. Quote. Palace Master Zhao King sighed softly. When the time comes, I will do whatever the queen asks me to do. I will never betray, and I will never betray. Deep in my soul, there is the brand of loyalty to the queen. Chen Shang now also understands that the masters of these Taichu Academy palaces are also very important subordinates to the Empress. Palace Master Zhao King has so many avatars, and there are many powerful avatars. If she is handed over to the three saints, the consequences can be imagined. Chen Shang said. Don't worry, I won't let you fall into the hands of the three saints. Palace Master Zhao King bit her lip and said, Brother, you don't understand. If the struggle in the palace really reaches that point, I have no choice but to make a sacrifice. No one will be able to save me then. It's all my fault, so impulsive. Chen Shang said. There is another way, that is to delay time. I need time to become stronger. Chen Shang already has a plan. Palace Master Zhao King frowned and said, Brother, what plan do you have? Can you tell me about it? Chen Shang said. When the time comes, I will **** this Taichu school palace, and then use my power to destroy the holy city of Jinyu. No, I will destroy all the members of the three saints in the Jinyu continent. Xiao Qinggong opened her mouth and said, it's hard. Even if I use all my powerful avatars, I can't compete with the three saints in a short time. You must know that this is not just the three saints. There are also star aliens and star monster forces. Chen Shang smiled and said, Zhao King, when we have a lot of high-quality pills in our hands, who will the stars, monsters, and beasts in the Taurus continent listen to? As long as they have stayed in the holy city of Taurus, they will hate the three saints sect very much. The practice of raising the pill. Palace Master Zhao King has never thought of enlisting the entire Taurus continent's creatures, because it is really too difficult to do, but if it is at the speed of Chen Zhang's planting medicinal materials and refining pills, this is possible. Palace Master Zhao King said with a smile. As expected of Brother Shen, it's no wonder you were the #1 enemy of the Sansheng sect back then. Chen Zhang's current cultivation base is too low, and the power he has grasped is too weak, otherwise he can implement the bold idea in his mind once, such as refining and transforming the Taurus star to make the star levitate. When Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King were very engaged in chatting, Palace Master Zhao King suddenly said, Brother, my avatar is in the hall of Taichu Academy Palace, and is receiving the leader of the Three Saints sect. The leader is here. What kind of person is he? Chen Shang asked. I've rarely seen him either. I didn't expect him to come here on his own initiative. Do you want to follow me to meet him? Palace Mistress Zhao King said. To be honest, I don't want to expose you right now. Walk. Chen Shang really wanted to meet that leader. Brother, I can kill him when needed. Palace Master Zhao King's eyes turned hard. Depending on the situation, this leader might also be using a clone. Chen Shang said. It doesn't make much sense to kill his clone. Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King got up and went to the hall. Granny An was already receiving the leader. There are more than a dozen women in the hall, who look like maids, but they are all avatars of Palace Master Zhao King. The leader of the Three Saints is only a branch leader of the Taurus continent, and there is a very strong leader in the palace. Master Ma, long time no see, what brought you here? Palace Master Xiao Qing used the clone of a little girl to meet the leader, and asked with a smile. When Chen Shang entered the hall, he saw more than a dozen people from the Three Saints sect, and they were also looking over. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5248, Break the Calm. This leader Ma's face was ugly, and so were the dozen or so people who followed him, all of them had murderous looks on their faces. Master Ma said coldly, Palace Master Zhao King, why did I come here? Don't ask questions knowingly. If you didn't do those things, I wouldn't bother to come. Palace Master Zhao King looked aggrieved, and curled her lips. Master Ma, why are you so fierce? What did I do to cause trouble for you? I really don't know. Chen Shang knew that the Sansheng sect couldn't sit still because of the fact that Palace Mistress Zhao King had killed a third-rank holy official. The Sansheng sect here should have known about the killing of the third-rank saints. They turned a blind eye to it, because it was not a bad thing for them. If those third-rank saints did not die, they would grow up living in the Sanshengjiao Palace in the holy city of Jinyu. Master Ma will have to watch their faces when the time comes. Now they came to find Palace Master Zhao King, explaining that this matter could not be hidden anymore. The three saints over there in the palace put pressure on them to deal with it quickly. Master Ma snorted coldly. Don't pretend, where are their corpses? Give us the corpses, and we will try our best to calm this matter down. You and I both know that this place is best to be peaceful and quiet. Just compete according to our rules, and it is best not to disturb the palace. Otherwise, no one can be the emperor of the land. As Chen Shang expected, the three saints sect of the Golden Bull Holy City also wanted to lie flat and make a fortune in this place, and try to keep a distance from the imperial palace as much as possible. Palace Master Zhao King smiled and said, I'm sorry, they are all trash. What can I do? Who made those two guys so arrogant? I couldn't bear it anymore, so I killed them. Ma Zhaoju suddenly became furious, and roared, that's a third-rank saint. Don't you even leave the corpse? Everyone knows that they have entered your Taichu Academy and never left. If you kill them so grandiosely, what about the palace? No matter how blind you are, you must send someone here. You broke the peace of the holy city of Jinyu, and your crime is heinous. Palace Master Zhao King looked helpless, and spread his hands and said, there is no way. Who made you go too far and monopolize the pill business? My small school is responsible for providing pills with stable prices to the general public. Only in this way can we go to the Taichu Imperial Academy. Ma Zhaoju looked angry and continued to shout, you can't compete with us, so it's none of our business. That's because you don't have the ability. Palace Master Zhao King pursed her lips and said, so I asked for help from the Imperial Palace. The Imperial Academy should have sent a holy minister over here. The ghost knows what you did at the Sansheng Imperial Palace. The holy minister sent to help us is from the three saints. Taught, and his temper is so bad. Master Ma jumped up angrily, and shouted angrily, idiot, this is obviously a game. It is just to make you so angry that you kill those unlucky ghosts, so that the three saints will provoke conflicts, and then take away the Taichu Academy here. Take all of Taurus. Chen Shang had already thought about it before, and Palace Mistress Zhao King only realized it recently. She was indeed a bit slow in this respect. Palace Master Zhao King waved his hand and said, you tell your imperial palace that the third-rank holy minister sent died outside the city, isn't that all right? Idiot, the three saints in every holy city have spies sent by the emperor's palace. After they heard the news, they immediately reported back to the emperor's palace. Ma Zhaoju said angrily, that's all right, the emperor. The church palace will take action soon, and then take over the three saints church in the holy city of Jinyu, and take over your Taichu school palace, and then everyone will have nothing to play with. Palace Master Zhao King said, there is still something to play. Just kill all the people sent by the Sansheng sect. Anyway, the mountains are high and the emperor is far away, so they can't send more people in a short time. By the way, first of all get rid of the spies of your three saints sect. Master Ma waved his hand vigorously, and shouted, I won't be crazy with you. I want to die. You wait to die. If you don't need the Sanshengjiao to take action, the palace will send those women from the Baihua temple to catch you, and they will definitely sacrifice you. Master Ma got up and left, and when he walked to the gate, he cursed, you childish idiot, you messed up everything. Your empress must be very disappointed in you, you caused her to lose a star. In the eyes of Master Ma, Taurus is already a member of the Sanshengjiao. He is not happy because the Sanshengjiao will send many people at that time, and then there will be no place for him here. The higher monks of the Trinity ride on his head. If those things hadn't happened, he would be a local emperor here, eating delicious food, filling his own pockets, and enjoying a lot of rich resources. Master Ma left with his own people, and Palace Master Zhao King said, you are a coward. You dare not rebel, and you secretly steal so many resources from the three saints, you are really a moth. Chen Shang squinted at Palace Master Zhao King, smiled and said, Zhao King, you have mastered this Taichu Academy, and you have stolen a lot of resources, right? Palace Master Zhao King coughed twice, and said, you have also seen that the entire Taichu Academy palace is mainly my avatar, so I must need more resources for cultivation. Chen Shang suspected that Palace Master Zhao King must have embezzled a lot of resources, that's why Taichu Shuigong could not compete with the Three Saints sect. Dare to directly obliterate the third-rank minister sent by the palace, which shows that Palace Master Zhao King is bold. Palace Master Zhao King muttered, I am loyal to the queen needs a strong helper, and when I become stronger, I can be used by the queen, so it's okay for me to steal anything, after all, I will die for the queen in the future. Chen Shang touched his forehead, and said, the prince nearby, who will she send? Can you beat him? Palace Master Zhao King sighed. If you can fight well, you can't fight. They are all my own people, and I can't fight my own people. So I can't make a move when the time comes, and I can only look at you. Chen Shang rolled his eyes, and said, I'm only at the second level of the initial stage, so I'll fight with my head. Who do you think I can beat with my cultivation? I can't even beat you, a little girl. Palace Master Zhao King nodded and said, that's true. Brother, your cultivation is really too low. You have to get stronger quickly. Although you are good at alchemy, you still have to fight. By the way, brother, will you fighting? Are you good at it? Do you like it? Chen Shang smiled wryly and said, I only know a little bit, I don't like it, when necessary, I can only force it. Palace Master Zhao King stroked her chin and said, when the time comes, I will delay the people sent by the prince. You should practice hard, I will give you a large amount of elixir first, and let you improve your cultivation first. Three saints, what are they here? Are they bad? Should they die? Chen Shang asked. Palace Master Zhao King said, of course it. Many people are often missing in the city, and they captured them as fertilizer. Although they also create their own clones to kill them, when there are not enough, they will arrest a group of people and kill them. Make fertilizer. But I can't touch them, and without the permission of the palace, I am not allowed to start a war with the three saints. Chen Shang said, I'll move them. I want to use them to cultivate, and I also have to take pills so that I can improve faster. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5249, Taurus Killer. Palace Mistress Zhao King was a little puzzled by these words. She asked with a puzzled face, brother, you said to use them to practice. How to do it? Chen Shang smiled and said, of course it is to devour the power in their bodies, and then turn it into my own. Palace Master Zhao King's expression changed drastically when she heard this, and she said anxiously, brother, you can't do it. This is a big treason. If it is discovered, the consequences will be very serious. Whether it is the three saints, or the star demon, even the queen, no one is allowed to do such a thing. Chen Shang asked, what if you do it? Will you be punished? Will anyone know? They said they can't do it, are there any restrictions? Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, not really, but even if you want to do it, it's very difficult, because in the cultivation of the absolute beginning heaven and earth, the power is mainly concentrated in the absolute beginning divine bead. No matter whether a person is alive or dead, the absolute beginning divine bead is very difficult. Devoured. Why? Chen Shang asked. He hadn't tried it yet, but he felt that as long as he improved the devouring demon art, there should be no problem. Palace Master Zhao King said, I don't know either. According to what I read in the book, it is mainly the laws of the heaven and earth in the early days. In order to restrict others from doing this, that's why the divine orb of the beginning is restricted, so that others cannot swallow it, or even if it is successfully swallowed, there will be great side effects. Chen Shang nodded, and said, then I understand, I want to try to see what's going on. Palace Master Zhao King sighed. Brother, it's not that I don't help you arrest people, it's mainly because I'm restricted and can't take action against the three saints. Otherwise, I will definitely catch one for you to try. Chen Shang smiled and said, it's okay, I'll just figure out a way myself. Wait for my news. Palace Mistress Zhao King really wanted to stop Chen Shang, but she also wanted to know in her heart whether Chen Shang could successfully devour other people's power in cultivation, and if he could, what would it mean? It means that Chen Zhang's cultivation will improve by leaps and bounds. Chen Shang found Niu Chao through Palace Master Zhao King. Niu Chao is a Taurus, the totem of the Taurus star. The reason why this star is named Taurus is mainly because the first living beings were Taurus, and there were still a lot of them. Niu Chao also said before that there are many Jinyu villages on the Jinyu continent, most of them are indifferent to the world, and they just go to the city occasionally to sell horns or something. There are a small number of Taurus who want to practice, and will voluntarily become others' mounts and practice with humans. Master Niu, I want to discuss something with you. Chen Shang called Niu Chao to his own floor. These days, Niu Chao has been taking on various jobs in the Taichu Academy, mainly running errands and so on. He also works very hard and enjoys it. It is a rare job for him to have a magic pill or something. Niu Chao was in Jinyu village, and he had heard it since he was a child that it was very difficult to enter the Taichu Academy to earn a living, but he has succeeded now. Niu Chao smiled and said, "Little apprentice, you are now the great alchemist of Taichu Academy, so just tell me what you have." Chen Shang asked in a deep voice, "Have you heard of the three saints?" Speaking of the three saints, Niu Chao's bull-headed and bull face seemed serious. He nodded his head, and said, "I've heard that the three saints, how should I say it, the village chief said that the three saints are not good thing." Chen Shang said, "I want you and me to catch the disciples of the three saints. As long as we catch those who have cultivated the divine orb of absolute beginning, we don't need to catch those who are too strong." Niu Chao asked, "Little apprentice, do you have any problems with them?" Chen Shang smiled and said, "There is nothing wrong with it, but the three saints sect is not a good thing, we must get rid of them. The elixir industry in the holy city of Jinyu was turned into a mess by them." Chen Shang briefly and quickly talked about the matter of the Sansheng sect using broken corpses to grow medicinal materials. When Niu Chao heard this, he was furious and scolded, "This group of dogs, the medicinal materials they grow are used to make alchemy. If they eat it, wouldn't it be very disgusting?" Chen Shang said, "Master, stop running errands in the future, come and be my thug, specializing in the three saints sect, we have to keep this matter a secret." He had seen Niu Chao's ability before, and it was very powerful when he helped him take the Tao soul of absolute beginning from under the nose of a powerful star beast. Niu Chao also readily agreed, and asked, "Yes, when are you leaving? Can you recognize the people of the three saints?" Chen Shang asked. He could, because the group of three saints sect had the aura of time cultivator and time celestial being, or the aura of star spirit race. Although many years had passed, Chen Shang still remembered this aura. "Of course I can. Those guys have a very weird aura of power, and I always feel that they are bad." Niu Chao said, let's go now." After dark, Chen Shang and Niu Chao quietly left Taichu Academy Palace. Palace Master Zhao King also knew that Chen Shang was leaving. She did not send anyone to protect Chen Shang this time, because she knew that Niu Chao was the totem beast of Taurus, the strength is not weak. People from the Three Saints sect also often go out. According to the information provided by Palace Master Zhao King, the Three Saints sect arrests and slaughters people to use as fertilizer, mainly outside the city. Because after leaving the city, it means that there is a certain risk. It is normal to die and disappear, so you will not be found if you do something outside the city. Chen Shang and Niu Chao were squatting outside a city gate. After dark, the disciples of the three saints left the city one after another. They were all in teams of several people, and there were a total of more than a dozen teams. Niu Chao selected a group of weakest ones, all of whom were at the second or third level of the absolute beginning realm, and then led Chen Shang to follow behind them quietly. In order not to be discovered, Chen Shang used the invisibility technique to hide himself and Niu Chao, and then carefully followed behind. Niu Chao is still very professional in this area, and he is very familiar with the surrounding environment outside the city. He often goes out to run errands to deliver and pick up goods these days, so he has a great advantage in this area. "Wait until you get into the forest," Niu Chao said. "Those 5 guys are relatively weak, so I'll just make a move later." "Master, if you can't kill them, they will definitely recognize you as a Taurus, and then they run away successfully, which is not very good." Chen Shang was a little worried. He didn't want to alarm the entire Three Saints sect. Niu Chao laughed and said, "Little disciple, you underestimate me. I will let them run away just for those trash. Don't worry, even if they run back, so what? There are too many Taurus in the Taurus continent, and we all look the same. Besides, it is normal for Taurus to kill people in the Taurus continent." Soon, they followed the 5 Sansheng believers into the mountain forest. Niu Chao rushed out directly, seeming very excited. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5250, Fetch Beads. Chen Shang originally wanted to instruct some things, but Niu Chao had already rushed out like a lightning bolt. This cow didn't look small, but now it was as fast as a golden lightning bolt. Trees. It was also a bit difficult for Chen Shang to follow behind, but now he suddenly discovered that Niu Chao's strength had improved a lot. In a short period of time, Niu Chao's cultivation base has improved rapidly, which shows that his own aptitude is good, and after obtaining the cultivation resources, he can improve by leaps and bounds. Although Niu Chao's speed was very fast, he also made a lot of noise, which was noticed by several Sansheng believers in the woods. There are cows. A member of the Three Saints suddenly shouted. It's a Taurus. Is this guy crazy? Someone shouted. It could be seen that those members of the Three Saints were a little scared. After all, they all knew that Taurus was not easy to mess with, especially a Taurus that was running wildly. Boom! Niu Chao had already bumped into the body of a Sansheng believer. The horn pierced the Sansheng believer's body and pushed it against a big tree. The tree was also broken, which shows how terrifying Niu Chao's power is. The Sansheng believer was pushed against the tree trunk, and his body was also crushed by a huge force. His waist turned into a piece of meat sauce, and his whole body was broken. Niu Chao also had blood on his head. Chen Shang could tell from his bull's eyes. This little guy was very excited. After killing one of the Three Saints, he immediately rushed to another one. After being invisible, Chen Shang didn't notice it, so the disciples of the Three Saints could only see a crazy golden bull running around and killing people. It is very common for Taurus to kill people in the Taurus continent. Seeing this kind of crazy and strong Taurus, the members of the Three Saints can only run away. But their speed is not as fast as cattle. In this way, they were pushed to death on the tree trunk by Niu Chao one by one. Chen Shang followed behind and collected their souls, lest their souls float back and cause Niu Chao to be discovered by the Three Sacred Sect. Although it is normal for Taurus to kill people, the murderous Taurus will also be arrested and judged. The divine beads of absolute beginning are all hidden inside the soul, and it is very troublesome to take them out. After the absolute beginning heaven and earth obtain the Tao soul of absolute beginning, there will be a special space inside the soul to accommodate the divine beads of absolute beginning. Therefore, even if someone wants to devour and absorb the energy of the divine orb of absolute beginning, they still need to go through many difficulties before they can take out the divine orb of absolute beginning. Even many old guys with extremely high cultivation levels may not be able to take it out, so although it is taboo to devour other people's absolute beginning divine orb for cultivation, few people do it because it is simply impossible. The matter of taking out the divine bead of absolute beginning has stumped many people. Palace Mistress Zhao King also knew that it was very difficult, but after seeing Chen Zhang's ability, she subconsciously felt that Chen Shang could do it, so she never told Chen Shang about taking someone else's divine orb of absolute beginning. Big difficulty. Niu Chao calmed down quickly, but his tone was still a little excited, and he asked, "Little apprentice, do they have any good things on them? These guys are members of the Three Saints, they should be very rich, right? I still don't care about such things. First time doing it, no experience, how am I doing?" In Niu Chao's view, Chen Shang just wanted to steal a fortune from these Three Saints. Chen Shang looked at their storage bags, and then gave them all to Niu Chao. There were some star crystals in them, but for Chen Shang who knew alchemy, he didn't like those star crystals. Niu Chao took a look and said in shock, "There are several million, as expected of the Three Saints, everyone has a million star crystal ticket." Chen Shang smiled and said, "Master, give all these star crystals to you." Niu Chao was very serious, and said, "This is not allowed, you have to ask for it. Then you are on the same boat as me. I killed the people, and all the money belongs to me. Why don't you want it? I'm a little scared." Chen Shang kicked Niu Chao's ass, and scolded with a smile, "Master, I am your apprentice. You led me into Taoism, how could I harm you? I'm not afraid to tell you, I let you kill them mainly because I wanted to kill them. Take their divine orb of absolute beginning." Niu Chao suddenly shouted in shock, "What? Little apprentice, don't mess around. Wait, can you take their absolute beginning divine orb? It's something deep in the soul, and it's hard to get it out." Chen Shang shook his head and said, "I haven't tried it yet." Niu Chao asked, "Why do you take it out? Is there any use for it? It is a big taboo to devour other people's divine orb of absolute beginning. If someone finds out, you will be caught and burned to death. I heard that you sucked too much. It will also bring God's punishment." Chen Shang smiled and said, "Don't worry, I won't mess around." He used the exercises to attract the water vapor between the heaven and the earth with the divine power of the beginning, and then condensed a small rain cloud to wash Niu Chao's head. Although Niu Chao felt that it was dangerous for Chen Shang to take other people's divine bead of absolute beginning, but he didn't take it seriously, and soon he didn't care about it. After rinsing, Niu Chao smiled and said, "Little disciple, next time you want to do something like this, you must remember to ask me." Niu Chao is very keen on this kind of thing. His previous job was as an errand runner, which was too ordinary for him. He still likes to do things like killing people and stealing goods. Becoming a cool killer is what Niu Chao imagined himself to be. "Okay, I will definitely look for you next time." Master, I shouldn't have to pay you any reward, right?" Chen Shang said with a smile. "You look quite professional, you are a qualified killer." Niu Chao was very proud when he heard it. He laughed and said, "I'm your master, this kind of thing is just a little effort for me, and there is no need for remuneration." Chen Shang and Niu Chao returned to the holy city of Jinyu, pretending that this incident had never happened, and then Niu Chao continued to run errands. The Taichu Academy has shops for purchasing medicinal materials in many villages. What Niu Chao is doing now is to go to those villages to get medicinal materials, and then sent back to Taichu Academy. This kind of thing is very boring, and it requires strength. Generally, people with strength don't like to do this kind of thing. Niu Chao and Chen Shang have a good relationship, and he doesn't mind. The rewards are also very generous. For many Taurus, or for many star beasts, Niu Chao's income is very high. After Chen Shang went back, he also greeted Palace Master Zhao King and asked her to give Niu Chao some more magic pills, because Niu Chao's strength is good, and when he becomes stronger, it will be useful to the Taichu Academy. Palace Master Zhao King knew that the master and apprentice had gone out to kill the disciples of the three saints, so she didn't ask any more questions. If she asked too much, she would be involved. She couldn't kill the disciples of the three saints. Chen Shang hurried back to the room, then took out the world-defying sacred furnace, and put the souls of 5 Sansheng believers into it. Sister Jing smiled and said, "Brother, taking things from the depths of the soul is a very simple matter for you, and it is not difficult at all to take the divine orb of absolute beginning." Chen Shang smiled and said, "It's really not difficult. If you directly absorb and devour the divine bead of absolute beginning, there is still some risk, and it may trigger a catastrophe or something, so let's refine it into a pill." World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5251, Skillfully Refining Divine Beads. Chen Shang quickly entered the state, and began to explore the divine orbs of absolute beginning in the depths of his soul. Now he also knew why Niu Chao said it was difficult to do it. There are multiple barriers in the depths of the souls of the three saints, and the most core area is still a set of layers. The depths of the soul are also divided into many areas, like a maze, and it is very difficult to break through multiple areas. Sometimes, after finally opening a large area, one finds that there are many small areas inside, as if closed and locked, and at the same time, it is impossible to find out whether there is the divine orb of absolute beginning inside. It took Chen Shang a whole day to find the divine bead of absolute beginning from the depths of a soul and extract it, which was really not easy for him. The divine bead of absolute beginning is hidden really deep. I have also cultivated the divine bead of absolute beginning, so why don't I feel that my divine bead of absolute beginning is hidden very well? Chen Shang also discovered now that the practice rules of the absolute beginning divine orb in the absolute beginning heaven and earth are very mysterious. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, I guess it may be that after a person dies, the divine orb of absolute beginning is affected by the power of the law of heaven and earth, and then hides itself. In addition, when practicing the divine orb of absolute beginning, the divine orb of absolute beginning will also be naturally the pearl is hidden." Chen Shang nodded and said, "Maybe it is." Next, Chen Shang continued to dig the divine bead of absolute beginning from those souls. If he was lucky, he could find it within a few hours. If he was unlucky, he could only break through those areas one by one, which was very time-consuming. It took him 3 days to dig out 5 divine beads of absolute beginning from the depths of the souls of the 5 Sansheng believers. They are all at the 2nd or 3rd level of the absolute beginning realm. They have very few absolute beginning divine marks. Chen Shang looked at those absolute beginning divine beads. The divine beads of the beginning of the 3 saints are all like golden crystal beads, which are as big as a fist and are heavy in the hand. Such a bead can actually be hidden in the depths of the soul. The God of Absolute Beginning pattern on the bead is much thinner than a hair. These God of Absolute Beginning patterns are all different, each with its own pattern, just like palm prints. Chen Zhang's own divine pattern of Absolute Beginning is a very straight line around the divine bead of Absolute Beginning, and he doesn't know what's going on. Palace Mistress Zhao King said that she does not have the divine rune of Absolute Beginning, but it is actually a kind of divine rune of Absolute Beginning, but it turns into spots on the divine bead of Absolute Beginning. She is indeed a different kind, which also means that her talent and aspects are different from ordinary people. It is very rare, so she can become the master of a Taichu school palace. Chen Shang used the technique of heaven alchemy to directly absorb the power of Absolute Beginning between heaven and earth, to refine these Absolute Beginning divine beads, and to refine them into pills, so that after swallowing, it would not cause heaven's punishment. The 5 Absolute Beginning divine beads were refined into 5 pills by him, and he didn't eat them right away, but took out the bodies of the 5 Sansheng believers. Although they were all smashed into tatters by Niu Chao, their bodies were still very strong, they were sealed and frozen by Chen Shang before. He put his hand on a corpse, and then performed the magic devouring skill, devouring the power inside these corpses, which can be used to strengthen his physical body. After devouring the magic power to swallow the physical power of the 3 saints believers into his body, Chen Shang then used his body as a furnace, and then operated the technique of heavenly alchemy to deeply refine those powers, so as to offset the side effects of the devouring. If the power to devour others has not been refined, it is easy to go crazy, and eventually become neither human nor ghost, and will be led into the abyss of evil by the power of the opponent. Chen Shang absorbed the flesh bodies of 5 Sansheng believers through devouring magic power, and he could feel a considerable improvement. Because in the process of refining, there is a lot of negative energy that cannot be completely refined, so it has to be discharged, so it does not completely devour other people's power, but only a relatively small part of pure power remains. Chen Shang said with emotion, "I'm already in the 3rd level of the Absolute Beginning realm now, and I have 3 Absolute Beginning divine runes. Devouring is still somewhat effective, now I will try the pill made from the Absolute Beginning divine bead." His cultivation is quite special, so he can't ask Palace Master Zhao King for advice. He can only communicate with Palace Master Zhao King after he has made a breakthrough. Chen Zhang's use of the divine power of Absolute Beginning is currently only used to release flames for alchemy, and has never been used for fighting, so he doesn't know how explosive it is, and he doesn't need to use the divine power of Absolute Beginning to fight yet, so he doesn't use it in this aspect. Not particularly eager. After he ate one of the Absolute Beginning God Bead pills, he directly cultivated a Absolute Beginning divine rune, and soon stepped into the 4th level of the Absolute Beginning realm. Chen Shang exclaimed, "The effect is very good. It broke through in no time. It was only 3 hours after he took that pill, he broke through directly, much faster than he imagined." Then he continued to eat. The next 4 Absolute Beginning God Bead pills, that is, more than 10 hours, let him upgrade to the 4th level. He is now at the 8th level of the Absolute Beginning realm. The divine bead of Absolute Beginning has 8 very thin divine lines. The disciples of the 3 saints that Chen Shang and Niu Chao went to kill before were only at the 2nd and 3rd levels of the Absolute Beginning realm. It seems that they have been practicing for a long time, and Chen Shang has raised several levels in just 2 days. That's pretty fast. He immediately found Palace Mistress Zhao King, wanting to ask her what level he is now. After Palace Mistress Zhao King arrived, she also felt that Chen Zhang's aura became stronger. Although Chen Shang concealed the aura, Palace Mistress Zhao King could still sense it. "Brother, what is your cultivation level now? I feel that you are stronger," Palace Master Zhao King asked as soon as she entered Chen Zhang's room. "Guess," Chen Shang laughed. "I can't guess." Palace Mistress Zhao King shook her head. "My Absolute Beginning bead has 8 Absolute Beginning divine patterns," Chen Shang said. "Is this the 8th level of Absolute Beginning realm?" Palace Master Zhao King was taken aback when she heard it, and shouted, "This is too fast. Even if you eat a lot of primordial spirit pill, it's not so fast, right? It takes time to refine it." Palace Mistress Xiao Qing secretly guessed before that Chen Shang was probably at the 3rd or 4th level of the Absolute Beginning realm, but now it is far beyond her imagination. Chen Shang smiled without saying a word. Palace Master Zhao King immediately asked, "Brother, you swallowed successfully. How did you do it? Did you feel any discomfort? Wait, don't tell me how you swallowed, I can't listen, this is taboo. I'm afraid I'll mess around if I touch it, so I don't want to listen, don't tell me." Chen Shang smiled and said, "Okay, I won't tell you. I feel very good now, nothing uncomfortable. By the way, Zhao King, at the 8th level of the Taichu realm, what level is it in this Golden Bull Holy City?" Palace Master Zhao King said, "The ones who are stronger in the Holy City of the Golden Bull are me and the branch leader of the Three Saints sect. We are all in the 30s of the Absolute Beginning realm. The higher the cultivation level, the stronger the Absolute Beginning divine power. It seems that my cultivation level is still very low. It's the worst class." Chen Shang felt that it was not too far to reach over 30 in the Absolute Beginning realm, as long as he continued to kill the Three Saints. Very good. For most people, they will reach the 10th level of the Absolute Beginning realm in a lifetime. How many days have you been? It's only the 8th level of the Absolute Beginning realm, and you will reach my level soon. Palace Mistress Xiao Qing's eyes full of complex colors. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5252, Mysterious Death. Update the latest chapter as soon as possible. Chen Zhang's current cultivation is at the middle level in the Golden Bull Holy City, which surprised him a bit. In other words, next time you go to catch the Sansheng believers, you don't need to call Niu Chao. Although Niu Chao liked doing this kind of thing very much, Chen Shang was a little worried that he would be involved if he participated too much. "Brother, can you really devour other people's divine orbs of absolute beginning? How did you do it? Don't you feel anything wrong now? For example, the power of those divine orbs of absolute beginning after you have swallowed them didn't you scurry around and eat back?" Palace Master Zhao King has determined that Chen Shang devoured other people's absolute beginning divine orb, that's why he was able to break through so quickly. Chen Shang said, "Everything is going well, I feel good at the moment." Palace Master Zhao King also wanted to try it, but after thinking about it, she gave up this idea. She was also worried that if she devoured other people's absolute beginning divine orbs, she would suffer severe punishment from heaven or something. This realm is not easy. Chen Shang smiled and said, "Zhao King, can you contact Wang Ju?" Palace Master Zhao King sighed. "It is possible, but it took a long time for people to respond, so we can only send people over to them now. Although we have already agreed on when we will send people over, when to come depends on their mood. Even if people are late, we can't say anything. Whether it is the Three Saints sect or the Imperial Palace, they have already paid attention to the holy city of Jinyu. After all, there are third-rank saints who died here. Fortunately, Wang Ju, who is loyal to the Queen, is relatively close to the holy city of Taurus, so he can rush over to deal with this matter and minimize the impact as much as possible. The struggle between the Three Saints and the Empress is mainly about fighting for the stars. If the Three Saints are justified, then they can get the Taurus star, so the king sent the ministers here to deal with this matter well and try not to let this Taurus star fall into the hands of the Three Saints. Chen Shang also didn't want this kind of thing to happen. He was not optimistic that Wang Ju could handle it well, because the Three Saints sect was even more unscrupulous. If Taurus falls into the hands of the Sanshengjiao, then the medicine field in the core space of the stars that he and Palace Master Zhao King have worked so hard to build will have to stop and take back all the soil, but it will also be a huge loss. Xiao Qing, what happened outside the past few days? Chen Shang asked. I haven't found out about it. The Sansheng sect has lost a third-rank holy official, and this city will definitely not be peaceful. Palace Master Zhao King spread her hands and said, the Sanshengjiao has already said everywhere that I killed a third-rank official, that I don't have a queen in my eyes, that I don't respect the queen, violated the laws of the primordial world, and want me to commit suicide. Quote. Chen Shang frowned and said, how do the people in the city react? Is it beneficial to you? Palace Mistress Zhao King shook her head and said, it's hard to say. I don't say the number of the Three Saints, and there are many people who believe them, but most people understand what's going on. I'm not a vegetarian after all. Palace Master Zhao King killed the third-rank ministers of the Three Sacred Sect mainly because of the price of pills. For this, many people in the city hated the Three Sacred Sect very much. Therefore, many people supported Palace Master Zhao King. Although doing so had violated the law, the starting point was to benefit the city. Chen Shang said with a smile, Xiao Qing, when our elixir goes on sale in large quantities, your reputation will change. For most people, what is good for them is a good thing. As for what you have done, as long as if it doesn't violate their interests, they won't care. As long as he can buy cheap magic pills, then Palace Master Zhao King can become the Palace Master of Taichu Academy Palace steadily. This is also Palace Mistress Zhao King's greatest reliance, so she is very grateful to Chen Shang. Brother, there is something I want to confirm with you. How many disciples of the three saints did you kill before? Palace Master Zhao King asked. Are there many? Chen Shang replied. It's just a few, isn't it too much? What's the matter? And I still shot outside the city. Palace Master Zhao King said with a puzzled look. It's strange. The three saints sect said that a large number of their followers died, and they were all of good cultivation. They all died inexplicably. They were still in the city. Chen Shang hurriedly asked. After they died, are there any corpses? Palace Mistress Zhao King nodded and said. There are corpses, but the souls are gone. Because the divine orb of absolute beginning is in the souls, I thought it was you who killed them and took away their souls. I only killed a few. Chen Shang also realized that something was wrong, and asked, is it possible that someone else did it? Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, except for our Taichu Shuigong, there is no other force that dares to oppose the three saints. There are many people who hate the three saints, but at most they just kill a few believers secretly to vent their anger, like it is very rare for such a large-scale massacre of members of the three saints to happen now. Chen Shang asked again, then the three saints have doubts that you did it. Palace Master Zhao King said, they didn't say that we did it, because they saw how those believers died, they all died suddenly, not like the power that our Taichu Shuigong mastered. If our Taichu Shuigong with this kind of strength, they will definitely be more scared and run away long ago. Chen Shang was even more puzzled, and said, if it's just the members of the three saints who died, then it is indeed aimed at them. Are there any dead people in the Taichu Academy Palace? Are there large-scale similar deaths happening in the city? Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, no, that's why it's very strange. This incident did happen in the city. They said that their disciples of the three saints died suddenly and inexplicably in the territory of the palace of the three saints. Chen Shang suddenly remembered the undead spirits that Ling Shu said in the realm of the dead at the beginning, but he couldn't figure out why the undead spirits only targeted the three saints sect. At this moment, Palace Master Zhao King suddenly said, brother, a large number of followers of the three saints died again. Just in the square outside the palace of the three saints, hundreds of believers fell down in an instant. The reason why she suddenly knew it was because she had a clone outside the three saints' palace, and she saw it with her own eyes. Chen Shang took a deep breath and said, shall we go and have a look? Palace Master Zhao King was about to speak, but suddenly shouted in shock, no, my avatar has also suffered. I lost contact with that avatar. Brother, don't go, I will send another avatar to retrieve my avatar. Doppelganger. That mysterious force was not aimed at the followers of the three saints, because even the avatar of Palace Master Zhao King was also affected. Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King are waiting here, and she also arranges many avatars to deploy to ensure the safety of Taichu Academy Palace. But Chen Shang thought that what she did was unnecessary, because they didn't know what kind of power it was. Chen Shang asked, Zhao King, is this kind of thing recorded in books? Palace Master Zhao King recalled it carefully, and said, there are similar, that is, some cities are located far away, and the inspectors of the palace will only go to understand the development of that city every few years. There are records. It is said that several cities have become empty cities, and there is no one in the city, which is still an unsolved mystery. Chen Shang took a deep breath. It was very likely that the dead spirits from the world of the dead in the beginning attacked. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5253, Strong Enemy Behind the Scenes. Chen Shang really wanted to keep the holy city of Taurus, because he wanted to rely on this city to build a star gate. If he couldn't build the star gate, he wouldn't be able to go to the imperial domain at all. The place where the queen is located is called the imperial domain, and it is also a very vast area, which is very different from other places. Palace Master Zhao King said, those guys from the Sansheng sector rushing towards us. What are they here for? Chen Shang asked, they think you did it. Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, no, because they know that I don't have that kind of strength. They must know something. I'll meet them in the hall, you stay here, don't go there. Chen Shang said, I want to go with you. Palace Master Zhao King resolutely said, no, it's too dangerous. Now I don't know what power is killing the three saints. If you go there, you might be implicated. Chen Shang spread his hands and said, the three sacred sects have already run over, the mysterious power that killed them will definitely follow along, right? Then I can't hide no matter what. Palace Master Zhao King sighed and said, okay. Chen Shang followed Palace Master Zhao King to the hall of Taichu Academy Palace and waited. More than 2 hours later, the leader of the Sansheng rushed in with dozens of people with fear on his face. It was obvious that they were all extremely terrified at the moment, and some of them were even trembling. Although Palace Master Zhao King now looks like a 10-year-old girl, after seeing her, the group of Sansheng Zhao directly knelt on the ground. Master Ma, don't you need to perform such a great gift? Palace Master Zhao King was also stunned for a moment. She never imagined that this usually high-spirited Master Ma would kneel down without hesitation, and even led all the core members of the Sansheng Zhao Palace to kneel down. Palace Master Zhao King, save us quickly, here they come, those things are here, quick. Master Ma's voice trembled, his face was distorted by fear, his eyes were bloodshot, and he pointed to the door of the hall with violently trembling fingers. As soon as he finished speaking, he heard several people screaming, as if they felt great pain instantly, and then lay on their backs motionless. After Chen Shang saw it from the side, he was frightened into a cold sweat. He was very sure that something attacked those people just now, causing them instant pain, and then their souls suddenly disappeared. Master Ma screamed in fear, "Here we come, we come. We are finished, we are finished. Hey, don't let anything happen to you. The prince will send his holy officials over soon. If you are all dead, how can I explain to them?" Palace Master Shao Qing was also very anxious and scared, and quickly looked at Chen Shang. Chen Shang stayed where he was, because he was communicating with Xiao Jing's younger sister, and she didn't know what happened just now. Master Ma smiled bitterly. It's over, the whole city will be over. In the Great Desolation, many cities suddenly became empty cities, and the holy city of Jinyu will soon become empty cities. Ha ha ha, we are finished. Master Ma seems to have gone crazy, and Palace Master Zhao King is also very frightened now. If even Master Ma can't stop it, then she must not be able to stop it either. Ah! Master Ma suddenly screamed, and then died. Afterwards, many members of the Three Saints sect screamed one after another, and then all died. Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King were sweating all over at the moment. They didn't sense anything just now, but the group of experts from the Three Saints sect all died. They are all worried that it will be their turn next. Chen Shang stood beside Palace Mistress Zhao King, who was sitting on a chair in the hall. They were all motionless at this moment, waiting quietly. They were all terrified in their hearts, they all held their breaths, tried their best to keep themselves calm, and all concentrated their energy, wanting to capture the invisible mysterious enemy. Chen Zhang's soul is very powerful. If there are any dead spirits, he should be able to sense them, but from just now until now, he has not sensed anything. They just remained motionless and waited for several hours. Everything was peaceful. Are they finished? Then what will happen to the holy city of the Golden Bull? Will their elixir business continue? Palace Master Zhao King asked suddenly. Xiao Qing, how do you deal with this matter? Chen Shang asked. This is the branch leader of the Three Sacred Sect. At the same time, there are so many strong men of the Three Sacred Sect dying here, it's very difficult. Palace Master Zhao King frowned and said, it's not right. The Starman and Star Demon have a good relationship with the Three Saints, but they are not dead, and the Three Saints will definitely be taken over by the Starman and Star Demon. Chen Shang said, it was the Starman and the Star Demon who killed them. Maybe, they haven't died yet. Palace Master Zhao King took a deep breath, and said, stars, star monsters, they are hiding their secrets. That's right, after all, they are also a powerful force in the palace. Although they are currently cooperating with the Sanshengjiao to fight against the Hundred Flowers Temple and Empress, but, the stars and the monsters all cooperate for their own benefit, and when necessary, it is normal to stab the Three Saints in the back. Chen Shang said, if the guy from the Three Saints sect dies here, then you will definitely not be able to get rid of the crime. Palace Master Zhao King also came to her senses, cursing in a low voice, it's his uncle. The one who makes the most profit in the end is the one who is most suspected. Now I'm in trouble. In other words, this Taurus star will definitely fall into the hands of the Star Demon in the end. They have the last laugh. Starman, Star Demon, do you have any mysterious powers? They can kill the guys from the Three Saints sect like this, so they must be able to deal with me too, right? But why didn't they take action? Palace Master Zhao King rubbed her chin and thought. Chen Shang said, if Yu Taichu Academy is finished, then they are the most suspicious. Anyway, they have successfully framed you, and you will be executed by the Queen without their own hands. They are just guessing now, but as long as they are sure that the Starman and Star Demon control the Taurus star, they can be sure that the Starman Star Demon did it. Now they can't figure out what method the Star Man and Star Demon used to make the three saints strong. Those who died inexplicably. Palace Master Zhao King said. Brother, you go back first. I want to start the communication formation and report the matter here to the palace. At this moment, Palace Mistress Zhao King is in a very depressed mood, because she can't get rid of the crime, and she will take the blame for it. Chen Shang also returned to the room, recalling everything that happened just now. Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, if it's really the work of the stars and the star monsters, it means that these guys may have cooperated with the necromancers. In short, we must be careful of them. Chen Shang said, I don't know how the undead are. If the undead are everywhere, don't they know that we are in the inner space of the stars? Sister Xiaojing said, it's hard to say, we can only wait and see how the situation goes. These things are beyond our cognition. How did the Sansheng leader die? This incident made Chen Shang very confused and frightened. At night, Chen Shang came outside, contacted Ling Shu in the sky, and wanted to ask if he had any progress. After Ling Shu and Chen Shang got in touch, he hurriedly said, Master, I found out some news about the undead, it's amazing. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5254, Dead City. Chen Shang is now very eager to understand the undead, because the undead seems to be around him, but they don't know anything about the undead now, and he doesn't know whether he can hide from the undead. Ling Shu, have you heard some news? Come and tell me. Chen Shang also felt very strange, why did Ling Shu only hear a little news? Although there are relatively few, they are very reliable. Ling Shu said, in the starry sky, there are also stars that have been invaded by necromancers, but because the Protoss are very powerful, they were not succeeded by the necromancers. Chen Shang was taken aback, and sighed, these undead are really powerful, they dare to attack the Protoss. The star spirits in the heaven and earth in the beginning are very powerful, they are free in the starry sky, and because they are restrained, they will not land on the great desolation in the beginning. Ling Shu continued, there was a Protoss who almost suffered disaster. Fortunately, that Protoss reacted in time, so the necromancer did not succeed. I also learned about this from this Protoss. The Protoss almost got hit, which shows that the undead are still very powerful, and their power can extend into the starry sky, which is very scary. Ling Shu, what do you mean by almost succeeding? Chen Shang asked, could it be that he was about to die and was rescued again? Ling Shu said, Master, the undead didn't kill those souls. They captured the souls. The undead want to expand their army of undead, and they can't reproduce, so they can only capture the souls of living things. Then didn't they catch it casually? It's too easy for them to get it. Chen Shang told Ling Shu what happened in the holy city of Jinyu. Ling Shu said, no, if he wants to take away souls, he needs some conditions, and it's not just that he can take away other people's souls casually. If that's the case, the necromancer is invincible. Chen Shang asked, what conditions are needed? Ling Shu said, when enough dead energy accumulates in the living body, the undead can easily succeed. The Protoss I know, he was exposed to a very powerful energy before, and after he absorbed it, he was killed. The spirit is entangled. Chen Shang immediately thought of the medicine field under the Three Saints sect palace that uses broken corpses as fertilizer, the branch leader of the Three Sacred Sect and others. It is very likely that they have accumulated enough dead energy because of this, and then they were captured by the undead. Chen Shang began to think about whether the Star Man and the Star Demon could control the undead. Because after the undead appeared and killed Master Ma in their Sanshengjiao Palace, Palace Master Zhao King could not be cleared of the crime, so she must be responsible, and the biggest beneficiaries were the Star People and Star Demons. Ling Shu only knew about the undead, but it was very useful to Chen Shang. Chen Shang immediately found Mistress Zhao King, she was having a headache right now. But knowing that Chen Shang was looking for her, he immediately ran to Chen Zhang's room. Palace Master Zhao King said, brother, I sent the news back to the palace, and they acted very calmly. They just asked me to wait, and they will definitely give me a fair trial. Chen Shang said, Zhao King, did you tell them that the Star Person and Star Demon behind this are doing something wrong? Palace Mistress Zhao King nodded and said, I said it. The Star Man and the Star Demon have benefited the most when something like this happened suddenly. But the palace said that I was just thinking wildly. In short, I am finished. Zhao King, I know a little bit about this. Chen Shang told Palace Master Zhao King about the undead. After hearing this, Palace Master Zhao King opened her eyes wide and said, brother, how did you know that? Although the authenticity cannot be confirmed, it is very possible. Chen Shang smiled and said, when I was in Tiangu Purgatory, I was still a character. Of course I have my channel to inquire about it. Palace Master Zhao King said. If this is the case, the empty cities that appear in the records are most likely the work of starmen and star demons. They must be secretly controlling those stars. Chen Shang nodded and said, using broken corpses as fertilizer to grow medicinal materials, this trick is really too bad. If the star people and star monsters continue to sell those medicinal pills to the people and star beasts in the city to eat, when they accumulate enough death qi, and the undead will attack them. Palace Master Zhao King sighed. If the Imperial Palace gets rid of me, they will definitely be able to successfully capture the Taurus star. The Imperial Palace probably won't believe my words. No, the palace must know more about the undead than we do. Chen Shang patted Xiao Jing's sister on the shoulder and said, believe me, the things behind this must be extremely complicated. It's important for you to save your life now. In Chen Zhang's eyes, Palace Master Zhao King is still too young. This is obviously a secret struggle between the palace and the star monsters. As for the Three Sacred Sect, it may not be as powerful as many people think. The Starman and Star Demon merged into the Three Saints Sect, actively cooperating with the Three Saints Sect, making people look weak, but now judging from the situation in the holy city of Taurus, the Starman Star Demon is very likely to be pretending to be a grandson, and the Three Saints Sect has also been suppressed. The deceit passed. After the death of the branch leader of the Three Saints did not become very chaotic, and the whole city was very stable and quiet. Palace Master Zhao King has kept the death of Master Ma a secret and has not spread it to the outside world, but the Sansheng sect should have noticed it. Chen Shang felt something was wrong about this, and suspected that the Starman and Star Demon had already controlled the Three Sacred Sect. Palace Mistress Zhao King thought about it carefully, and thought of many terrible things, and said, brother, I'm too young, I can't play with those old foxes. The stars and monsters are going to betray the queen. Chen Shang asked, why do you say that? Palace Master Zhao King said, without the Empress, the star people and star demons would not have the status they have today. The star people and star demons have been too strong over the years, bullying other races everywhere. If it continues, the Empress will start to suppress them. Then they and the Three Union of the Holy Faith. Chen Shang said, don't think too much. By the way, you let the deity come out and follow me, and I can protect you. Before, Palace Mistress Zhao King sent her multiple avatars just to protect Chen Shang, but now Chen Shang said that he wanted to protect her, which made her dumbfounded. Brother, your cultivation base is much lower than mine, what can you do to protect me? Palace Mistress Zhao King pouted and said, no need, my deity is currently cultivating. Chen Shang said seriously, do you believe me? If you believe me, quickly let the deity come out and follow me. Palace Master Zhao King knew that Chen Shang was doing it for her own good, but she still didn't believe that Chen Shang could protect her. She shook her head and said, I'm in a very important stage of cultivation now. Chen Shang said very seriously, you have to run quickly. Take the avatar and everything away. Let's go to the inner core space of the stars and take away the soil and seedling fertilizer. Palace Master Zhao King hurriedly asked, brother, people from Wang Zhu's side are coming soon. I didn't kill Master Ma, so they should be able to investigate clearly, right? Chen Shang said, they came here to sentence you to kill Master Ma. Make big things into small things, and then change to another palace master to continue to be in charge of the Taichu Academy here, so that they can suppress the stars and monsters. Sacrifice you and guarantee the Taurus the star does not fall into the hands of the Star Man and the Star Demon. Alchemy God, do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5255, Disobedience. If you sacrifice me, will it really ensure that the planet Taurus will not be monopolized by the stars and monsters? Palace Master Zhao King shook her head and said, I'm in a mess now, why, how will things develop? What's going on with the Empress? Why are you fighting so fiercely with the Starman, the Star Demon, and the Three Saints? Before Chen Shang wanted to preserve the medicine field in the star core space, but now that he knew that the Star Person and Star Demon were so powerful, he could only retreat temporarily. Palace Master Zhao King will definitely be sacrificed, and he will have no other helpers at all, and his cultivation level is not high, so he will not be able to fight against the Star Man and Star Demon at all. Brother, I don't plan to run away. Although I am willing to sacrifice, but I can't sacrifice in vain. Palace Master Zhao King's eyes suddenly became sharp, and said, the medicine field in the inner space is not withdrawn for a while, is it okay? What are you going to do? Chen Shang was quite surprised to see Palace Mistress Zhao King having such an awareness. Wang Ju is definitely on the queen's side, but they are only carrying out orders from the palace. Even if they execute me, they may not be able to control Taurus. Palace Master Zhao King said. So I plan to fight against the Wang Ju faction. Holy Minister who came here, I want to disobey the order, I want to suppress the stars and monsters of Taurus. Seeing Palace Mistress Zhao King saying this, Chen Shang immediately showed a smile, and said, Zhao King, if you can think this way, it will be much easier. He was worried about Palace Mistress Zhao King before, and he didn't dare to disobey the queen. He also knew that Palace Mistress Zhao King was absolutely loyal to Empress Qingxing, so he didn't intend to force Palace Mistress Zhao King to disobey her orders. Now that Palace Mistress Zhao King has this kind of awareness, it shows that she still has a relatively large structure. The prince was only here to carry out the order, neither the palace nor the prince knew about Taurus, they just handled it according to the usual practice. Palace Master Zhao King was worried that after she was executed, the Taurus would still fall into the hands of the Starman and the Star Demon, and she would die in vain. The failure after the Star-Human-Star Monster struggle, this kind of failure is commonplace for the Imperial Palace. But for Palace Master Zhao King, it means that her life was lost, and it was worthless. Brother, you seem to be expecting me to do this. Palace Master Zhao King asked, if I disobey, is there a way for you to help me? There is a way, but it will be more risky. If you are determined to die, then you should not be afraid of anything, right? Chen Shang asked. Yes, as long as I can win. I am not afraid of anything, I am afraid that after I die, I will fail. In order to win, and to allow the queen to control Taurus, I am willing to sacrifice my life. The calm eyes of Palace Mistress Zhao King with determination, it can be seen that she is serious. In the hall of Taichu Academy Palace, 3 second-rank holy ministers had already arrived, waiting for Palace Master Zhao King. After Palace Master Zhao King learned about it, she immediately brought Chen Shang there. These 3 second-rank holy ministers are all old grandmothers, and they seem to be quite kind. When they saw Palace Master Zhao King coming in the avatar of a little girl, one of them asked, Palace Master Zhao King, where is your real deity? Haitang the queen said, I want you to accept the secret order in person. Palace Master Zhao King said, I don't know how to call the 3 grandmas. The old lady smiled and said, you don't need to know my name, you just need to know that we are the second-rank ministers sent by Lord Haitang. Queen Haitang is the same as you, and they are all loyal to the queen. Palace Master Zhao King said, this avatar of mine can receive secret orders. My true self is in retreat and is in a very important stage. I haven't come out for a long time. I can't stop. The 3 old grandmas looked at each other, seemed to communicate in secret for a while, and then nodded. One of the old ladies handed Palace Master Zhao King a golden jade tablet, and she wanted to use her soul and spirit to read the content inside. After Palace Master Zhao King received it, she read the content inside, frowned and said, do you really want me to do this? The old woman nodded and said, that's the only way to do it. You won't die completely, you can keep this little girl's avatar. Do they know how many clones I have? Palace Master Zhao King asked. Except for the clone of my little girl, all other clones will be executed. What is the process like? The old lady said. There is no way, you killed those holy ministers before, and the Ma leader of the 3 saints sect and others died suddenly in your Taichu Academy, the Star Man and the Star Demon, all these crimes will be held on your head, come on, so you must be executed, otherwise, the Empress will lose her prestige in the palace, after all, she also has rules. Palace Master Zhao King asked again, I have many avatars, how can they ensure that all my avatars are executed? The old lady said, the stars, the star monsters, and the others can determine how many clones you have through your real body. This is their secret technique. However, the queen has a way to help you keep a clone, so you are not really dead, the queen still cares about you very much. Of 3 grandmas, are you the main body or the avatar now? Palace Master Zhao King asked. We are all deities. After becoming holy ministers, we are not allowed to have clones. You should understand the reason. The old lady said. Suddenly, dozens of beautiful women came to the hall. They were all extremely high cultivated, powerful, and armed with magical weapons. 3 grandmas, I'm sorry. Palace Mistress Zhao King said, I want to declare war on the stars and demons. Of course, it's all in my own name. The faces of the 3 old grandmas suddenly changed drastically. Master Zhao King, you can't do this, you will die completely like this. You can leave a clone and start over from the beginning, at least according to what we said before. If you disobey the order, then you will be the three saints, the queen at the same time as the Starman and the Star Demon. They sent troops to attack you. Thinking, the old lady hurriedly said, I'm not afraid of death. Palace Mistress Zhao King said calmly, let them come. I will drive you out of the city, and let the star people and star monsters get out of the city. If they don't leave, then I will start massacring them. After finishing speaking, she let her avatar the 3 second-rank holy ministers out. At this moment, she closed her eyes and let her clone start to move. After all, she is the lord of the Taichu Shui Palace, and her overall strength is also very strong, but she was restricted before, and she could not use violence, but now she has no worries, so she can do anything. Chen Shang said, Zhao King, if everyone talks about the rules, it will be easy to handle. But now the stars and demons, they can control the mysterious undead, and the three saints also secretly use many ghostly methods. You are honest, and if they fight, they will definitely suffer a lot. The opponent didn't follow the rules, so Palace Master Zhao King also decided to use force to solve it. Palace Master Zhao King said, Brother, Taurus will fall into a big battle next time. Whether you can win or not depends on you. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5256, Lord of the Holy City. Taurus is very big, and Palace Master Zhao King said that the entire Taurus will fall into a war, which means that she has a lot of avatars, and the power she can mobilize is not small. Of course Chen Shang didn't want a big battle to break out. Palace Master Shao Qing had so many avatars, if a large number of them were killed in battle, it would be a waste. The avatar is a very trustworthy force, and it is also powerful enough, and it belongs to Palace Master Zhao King himself. Chen Shang will also need this part of power to help build the Stargate in the future. Zhao King, there are many stars and demons in the city, if they are all expelled, wouldn't the city be empty? Chen Shang remembered that the star aliens and star demons were a huge group, and many star aliens and star demons who were not in power accounted for the majority in the city. I only drive away those powerful officials. The Lord Taurus and other guys are all dignitaries among the stars, people and star monsters, and those families and so on. Palace Master Zhao King said, although there are many stars and monsters in the city, they all compare. I hate those same kind who are in power, because the stars are often bullied by them. The price of the elixir in the city was raised by the three forces of the stars, the demons, and the Sanshengjiao, but it was the lower races that suffered the most. Palace Master Zhao King is now announcing to the whole city that the Sanshengjiao, the city lord's mansion, and the stars and demons have joined forces to control the price of the elixir, causing the price of the elixir to be out of balance, so she wants to suppress the Sanshengjiao. They drove out of the city. Palace Master Zhao King arranged for his avatar to take action, and after hearing the news, the Star Man and Star Demon also fled immediately, because they all knew that Palace Master Zhao King was already crazy, and even the saints sent by the prince were ignored. Inside, the three holy ministers also explained the situation to the Starman and Star Demon, saying that Palace Master Zhao King disobeyed the order from the palace, and they had no choice but to wait for the order to attack the city from the palace. And when the time comes to siege the city, all parties need to discuss it, because if there are a large number of stars, monsters, and beasts in the city, it is not good to injure them in the siege, so this is very tricky. What Gongzu Zhao King has to do now is to buy those ordinary stars, monsters, and beasts in the city, especially those giant star beasts, which are also a rare force. If they are allowed to stay in the city, all parties need to consider a lot if they want to attack the holy city of Jinyu. In just 3 days, news about Palace Mistress Zhao King's rebellion had already spread throughout the city. And now there are a lot of cheap elixirs on sale one after another, and the effect of planting medicinal materials in the inner space is excellent. In addition, the Holy Soul Pill Puppet can quickly make alchemy in batches, and the supply of elixirs in the city has gradually stabilized. As a result, Palace Mistress Zhao King has a very high prestige in the city. Everyone thinks that she offended the Three Saints sect and the city lord's forces in order to suppress the price of pills, and they all think that Palace Mistress Zhao King is doing the right thing. Palace Master Zhao King's propaganda was also carried out secretly, and many people entered the underground palace of the Three Saints sect and saw the scene of dismembered corpses planting medicinal herbs. The people in the city learned that they had taken a lot of that deadly medicine, and immediately scolded the nobles of the Three Saints and the Star People and Star Demons. Not only is the price very high, but they are also full of death. They now hate the Sanshengjiao and the group of nobles, and they also understand why Palace Master Zhao King disobeyed orders, why he wanted to kill the leader of the horse, and why he drove away the group of nobles. Palace Master Zhao King released a second move, which was to win over many Star Beast villages. You know, those Star Beast villages planted a lot of medicinal materials, which were bought by the Sanshengjiao and those noble forces at a low price before, and now they know that their medicinal materials have been sold by them at a high price, and the Sanshengjiao also planted a large number of medicinal materials in that way. Medicinal materials are used to drive down their prices, so they are also very angry. The Star Beast village sells medicinal materials in order to obtain certain resources and cultivate powerful Star Beasts for the village. These Star Beast villages are also on the side of Palace Master Zhao King at this time, because they also need to continue to sell medicinal materials. If the Golden Bull Holy City is destroyed, their medicinal materials will not be able to sell. Palace Master Zhao King will now give them a very generous price to draw in the relationship between the Star Beast village and the Holy City of Taurus. In the past, Taichu Shuigong could not participate in too many of these businesses, nor could it manage the affairs of the city. But now it's okay, the entire city of Taurus is ruled by Palace Master Zhao King, which means that there will be less bullying by nobles in the city, and there will be more fairness and justice. Palace Mistress Zhao King has multiple avatars, and now her avatars are managing the whole city, and they cooperate with each other very tacitly, and the efficiency is also very high. This is the benefit of having a large number of clones, and can do many things very efficiently. Chen Shang opened up more medicine fields in the inner core space, and then refined more holy soul pill puppets. The more pills supplied in the city, the faster the strength of the city residents would improve. Palace Master Zhao King also used elixirs as rewards one after another, and began to recruit troops. With heavy rewards, there must be brave men, and there are also many powerful stars, monsters, and beasts who are willing to join the army to guard the holy city of Taurus. During this period of time, Chen Shang also studied the combat skills and divine arts of the Taichu Academy, and found that they were all from the purgatory period of the ancient heaven. Overall, they were relatively backward, and their compatibility with the divine power of the absolute beginning was relatively low. So he also improved on this, and gave Palace Mistress Zhao King arranging clones to pass on to the soldiers, so that they could learn and practice the improved divine arts and combat skills, so that they could display the divine power of absolute beginning even better. It is not easy for the three saints, the nobles, and the princes to attack the holy city of Jinyu. Because there are many citizens in the city who support Palace Master Zhao King, and they are also very strong, and they dispatched troops from other places, not to mention the long journey, and after arriving here, their morale will be very low. Unless a strong man with a high cultivation base is sent to take action, but it will hurt the citizens in the city, and it will arouse public anger at that time. The holy city of Jinyu is also protected by a powerful enchantment formation, and it is possible to break through it only if it reaches a certain level. It needs to come from the palace, or it needs to be attacked by the Queen Haitang. It will take a lot of time for them to discuss the siege of the city, and the holy city of Taurus can develop rapidly during this time. Chen Shang stayed in the inner core space all day long. He has studied the inner core of stars very deeply and is very familiar with it, and he can also communicate with the Protoss spirit, Ling Shu. Therefore, as long as he can develop the core power of Taurus, he will not be afraid of anything. Another thing is that he has to figure out how to deal with those mysterious dead spirits. That is the trump card of the nobles, although certain conditions are required to use it, but Chen Shang feels that it is not that simple. It was also because of the existence of the undead that made Chen Shang feel worried, mainly because he had seen with his own eyes how the undead could easily kill Master Ma. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, I have a guess about the undead. It is that the undead are actually willing to communicate actively, but they need some means to get in touch with them. The aristocratic forces of the stars and demons, they will definitely be able to communicate with them." Necronomic communication. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5257, Dead Spirit. Chen Shang also wanted to know how to communicate with the undead. Stars and star monsters could cooperate with the undead, and they must have promised some benefits. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, let's wait until you become stronger. You are not strong enough now, and the necromancer will definitely not cooperate with someone with a low cultivation level. Those who connect with the necromancer should also be the strong ones in the Starman Star Demon. Bye. I see, what I have to do now is to improve my cultivation. If Chen Shang wanted to quickly improve his cultivation, he could only eat pills or catch the disciples of the three saints and take away their divine beads of absolute beginning. The three saints of the holy city of Jinyu, as well as the nobles of the stars and monsters, have all been driven out of the city. Although they are very angry, they can't attack the city now. They are not idle, and they have taken actions one after another. They want to build a city near the holy city of Jinyu, and they also want to do medicine business to compete with the holy city of Jinyu. Palace Master Zhao King stepped up her efforts to publicize the process of the Sansheng sect's cultivation of medicinal materials, and told everyone to be careful when going out, because it is very likely that the corpses will be taken away and then made into fertilizer. I don't know where Palace Master Zhao King got some of the images and spread them around, so everyone has no doubts about it. Even so, the aristocrats of the stars and demons still joined forces with the three saints to continue building the city. Chen Shang also started to act, to arrest the disciples of the three saints and take the divine beads of absolute beginning to refine them into pills. The imperial palace will definitely attack the holy city of Jinyu, and it should be the nearby royal city that will also send troops. The royal city where Queen Haitang is located is much larger than the city of Taurus, and the star Begonia is also a huge star buried underground. Palace Master Zhao King said that the star Begonia is many times larger than the star Taurus. Therefore, the Haitang continent on Haitang star is also very huge, and it has bred many powerful star beasts, as well as various geniuses and land treasures. If Haitang continent makes a move, Jinyu Holy City will face great pressure. Begonia star is obviously in the hands of the Empress, with the prince sitting in charge, and the Taichu school palace above Begonia star is also suppressing the forces of the three saints and the stars and star demons. Chen Shang also realized now that the three saints sect and the starman and star demon are very likely to control such king-level stars, but the number is much smaller than that of the queen. Chen Shang killed more than a dozen members of the three saints, took out their absolute beginning divine beads to refine them into pills, and then ate dozens of absolute beginning primordial spirit pills, and then began to cultivate. Palace Master Zhao King has stabilized the entire Taurus holy city, as well as those important large star beast villages in the Taurus continent. The Sanshengjiao and the star human and star monster aristocrats are already being beaten by everyone, and they have not left the Taurus continent. After all, once they leave, they will face various dangers outside. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, the divine rune of absolute beginning cultivated on the divine bead of absolute beginning is useless at all. After the cultivation base is improved, the divine power in the divine bead of absolute beginning becomes more and stronger, but the power of the divine rune of absolute beginning does not appear. Come out." Chen Shang said, "That's right. The divine rune of absolute beginning can't be used, but it can definitely be used, but to use the divine rune of absolute beginning, a specific skill is required. Zhao King doesn't have this kind of skill. If she wants to obtain this, the exercises are difficult." Sister Xiaojing said, "The imperial palace should have this kind of exercise, the high-level officials of the three saints and star demons must also have it. If you want to get the exercise, you should have to pay some price." Chen Shang nodded and said, "Don't worry, when my cultivation level improves, I'll go to study it. It should be very difficult to use the divine pattern of absolute beginning. If it can exert its power, it will definitely become very strong." Chen Zhang's current cultivation is already at the 12th level of the absolute beginning realm. The absolute beginning divine bead has 12 absolute beginning divine marks. His absolute beginning divine mark is a single line, while the other people's absolute beginning divine marks are all crooked, are very curved, it looks like a pattern. This made Chen Shang very puzzled, and he didn't know whether this kind of divine rune of absolute beginning was strong or not. Chen Shang was practicing in the room, and Palace Master Zhao King came to the door and asked, "Brother, Queen Haitang sent someone to send a letter, asking me to surrender and hand over this city. She said that she can let me go, and I can take leave the Taurus continent with the avatar." Chen Shang, who was cultivating, pondered for a while, and asked, "Xiao Qing, what do you think they will do with the Golden Bull Holy City after you hand over this city?" "It must be to give the Holy City of Taurus to the nobles of the stars and demons, and then calm the matter." Palace Master Zhao King said, "The palace should have reached a tacit agreement with them and exchanged interests, because such a trouble go down, everyone's face will be ugly." The forces of the Starman and the Star Demon were expelled, and they were indeed slapped in the face. The Sanshengjiao also suffered a lot. A branch leader and a group of high-level leaders were killed. And the Empress couldn't hold down Palace Mistress Zhao King. It can be said that Taurus does not belong to any of their three parties, and is controlled by Palace Master Zhao King. Chen Shang said. Xiao Qing, are you going to agree? Palace Master Zhao King snorted, and said, I won't compromise, they are too bullying. I didn't kill those idiots of Master Ma, but they didn't even mention it, so they decided that I killed them. Yes, and those undead, I think the palace must know about this kind of thing, but they deliberately conceal it. The undead are so terrifying, maybe the palace can also use the power of the undead. The current palace master Zhao King is also very dissatisfied with the palace. There was a fight in the palace, but these young people suffered a lot, and even sacrificed casually, so Palace Master Zhao King was very angry. Chen Shang said, yes, there is no compromise. Look at their next actions. It should take a long time for Haitang continent to fight over, send troops and so on. Let's take advantage of this time to prepare, and they will definitely not be able to attack if they want to attack. Easy. Palace Master Zhao King said, brother, I plan to start working during this period of time. The nobles and the Sanshengjiao built that city, which is a bit of an eyesore, and I can't let them build it smoothly. Chen Shang warned, you can do it, but be careful, don't waste too much power. I know. Palace Mistress Zhao King acted immediately. She had a lot of avatars, and there were a lot of avatars for various purposes, and her strength was not weak, so she was confident that she would let the opponent suffer a great loss. Chen Shang planned to cultivate to the 20th stage of the absolute beginning realm, and then go to contact the undead. He already had an idea, that is to condense the dead energy, and condense it into a pill through the world-defying furnace, which would definitely attract the undead. Dead spirits need a strong death energy to cultivate, which is not difficult for Chen Shang. In the blink of an eye, 2 months passed, and Chen Shang had already cultivated to the 20th level of the absolute beginning realm, and he hadn't figured out the function of the absolute beginning divine rune. However, he felt that his absolute beginning divine power was much stronger than other absolute beginning 20th level ones. Palace Master Zhao King has some avatars who are at the 20th level of the absolute beginning realm, and their absolute beginning divine power is far inferior to Chen Zhang's. Chen Shang stood at the gate of the city, and said, only when you kill someone will you be deadly, then you can borrow some from the guy from the Three Saints sect. After the endless coma, Shiyu suddenly got up from the bed. If you want to read the latest chapters, please download the Star Reading app, and read the latest chapters for free without ads. The website has not updated the latest chapter content, and the Star Reading novel app has updated the latest chapter content. He took a big gulp of fresh air, his chest trembling. Confused, puzzled, all kinds of emotions came to my mind. Where is this? Afterwards, Shiyu subconsciously observed his surroundings, and then became even more at a loss. A single dormitory. Even if he was successfully rescued, he should be in the ward now. And my own body, how could there be no injuries at all? With doubts, Shiyu quickly swept his gaze across the room, and finally settled on a mirror by the bedside. The mirror reflected his current appearance. He was about 17 or 18 years old, and he was very handsome. But the problem is, it's not him. Download the Star Reading app and read the latest chapter content without ads for free. My previous self was a handsome young man in his 20s who had been working for a while. But now, no matter how you look at it, this appearance is only the age of a high school student. This change left Shiyu in a daze for a long time. Don't tell him that the operation was a success. The body and appearance have changed. This is not a question of whether to have surgery or not, but a fairy art. He turned into a completely different person. Could it be that he crossed over by himself? In addition to the mirror on the bedside, which was obviously placed in a bad feng shui position, Shiyu also found 3 books beside it. Shiyu picked it up and took a look. The title instantly silenced him. Necessary Beast Breeding Handbook for Novice Breeders. Postpartum Care of Pet Animals. Guidelines for Evaluation of Alien Beastier Girls. Shiyu, the titles of the first 2 books are quite normal. What's the matter with you in the last one? Cough. Shiyu's eyes were serious, and he stretched out his hand, but soon his arm stiffened. Just when he was about to open the 3rd book to see what it was, his brain suddenly felt a sharp pain, and a large amount of memories flooded in like a flood. Icefield City, Pet Breeding Base, Trainee Pet Keeper. The website will be closed soon. Download the Star Reading app to provide you with the alchemy of the Great God and the Little Thief. Beastmaster, World Defying Dan God Chapter 5258, Death Pill. Chen Shang is now at the 20th level of the absolute beginning realm, and most of the 3 saints believers can't reach the 20 level. Chen Shang can completely beat those 3 saints believers. The 3 saints are easy to find, and they often hunt in the forest in groups of 3 or 4. They hunted and killed everything, whether it was humans, or stars, beasts, and monsters. As long as they were alone, they would be besieged and killed. If it weren't for the 3 saints, the Taurus continent would still be very safe. Because of their presence, star beasts would often go missing or be hunted down. Inside the holy city of Taurus, many star beasts can often be seen walking, and they seem to get along very well with humans. However, if these star beasts leave the city alone, they will be very dangerous. If they are targeted by the 3 saints, they will definitely be hunted down. Niu Chao is a Taurus and is protected to a certain extent, so the 3 saints sect doesn't dare to attack Taurus, and Chen Shang is not too worried. Chen Shang was alone now, swaggering and running on the road, and rushed directly into a deep mountain and old forest. While on the road, he could sense the breath of many Sansheng believers, and they were all in the mountains outside the city. After Chen Shang went in, he just hid his cultivation aura. He didn't hide himself, and made a lot of noise. Soon, he was targeted by a team of 3 saints. These 3 saints were all wearing black clothes and masks. They suddenly rushed out from all directions to surround Chen Shang. Without saying a word, they directly attacked ruthlessly, condensed the divine power of primordial beginning in the distance, and used various combat techniques to fight out. Immediately, thunder and fire intersected, rumbling straight down, covering Chen Shang. Although Chen Shang concealed the aura of his cultivation, these people judged from experience that his cultivation was not low, so their moves were very ruthless, for fear that they would not be able to take Chen Shang down. Chen Shang also did not expect these people to attack so ruthlessly. Fortunately, his cultivation base is high enough. Although he is not proficient in using powerful combat techniques to fight, but relying on his own strong divine power in the early days and his rich combat experience, immediately invoke the divine power of the beginning to protect the body. After the 3 saints attacked violently, seeing that Chen Shang was still standing still, with sharp eyes and steady breath, they knew they had kicked the iron plate. Withdraw, the leader shouted. The cultivation level of the person in front of them was obviously far above them, so they could only withdraw decisively. It's just the 5th or 6th level of the absolute beginning realm, you can't escape. With a deep roar, Chen Shang exploded out the divine power of absolute beginning inside the divine beat of absolute beginning, controlled it through the power of his soul, and then condensed it into 5 golden lightning bolts. Boom! The 5 thunders exploded at the same time, blasting in all directions, like a golden dragon turning into lightning, fierce and violent, passing through the trees, breaking them and igniting them. The 5 Sansheng believers were terrified and fearful to the extreme, and they immediately concluded that this person's cultivation was above the 20th level of the absolute beginning realm. The 5 dragons' thunder pierced through several huge tree trunks, accurately locked on 5 Sansheng believers, and tore their bodies apart. Chen Shang closed his eyes to lock on their souls flying out, and then imprisoned their souls with the soul-absorbing curse, pulling them directly from a distance. Chen Zhang's soul has been tempered for many years. It is not comparable to these 3 saints. Their souls were directly torn apart by Chen Shang, and after their souls were scattered, they produced a strong death energy. The dead air is collected and placed inside a container. It's really interesting. In the world of absolute beginning, the death energy produced after death is so unique. Chen Shang also discovered now that the death energy was produced after destroying the divine orb of absolute beginning. He had captured many members of the 3 saints before, but they all took out their absolute beginning divine beads and refined them into pills, and did not destroy them. Now after he destroys the divine orb of absolute beginning of the 3 saints, there will be a wave of death energy wafting out. Although it was a dead energy, it was also a very strange energy, so Chen Shang could immediately confirm that it was a dead energy, and it did have a somewhat eerie and strange aura. Chen Shang continued to wander in the mountains and forests, luring the disciples of the 3 saints to kill him, and then he killed them back. In just a few days, he killed dozens of followers of the 3 saints, and he emptied the forest completely. After these guys were kicked out of the Golden Bull Holy City, they couldn't get in touch with more people, so they were all waiting in the forest to kill people. Chen Shang walked out of the forest, looked back, and said, "I don't know about the 3 saints. How many people were killed in the city?" He can now be sure that the Sansheng Jiao is also collecting death energy, and the death energy generated after killing people is most likely used to buy dead spirits. Sister Xiaojing said. Brother, if the death energy is in the human body, it will be attacked by the dead spirits. The Ma leader of the Three Saints Church and others, have they been injected with death energy? Chen Shang said. It should be that group of idiots who were fooled by the stars and monsters, practiced some evil skills, resulting in too much dead energy accumulated in the body. When Chen Shang saw the Ma leader and the others before, he felt that they were all gloomy. Under their Three Saints Palace, they used a lot of broken corpses to plant medicinal materials, dead air. After the body is destroyed, it will also produce relatively weak death energy. When Chen Shang destroys other people's bodies, in order not to leave any traces, he will prevent any breath from entering his body, so no death energy can enter his body. A clone sent out by Palace Master Zhao King was killed by the necromancer, which means that the clone also often conducts assassinations, so the dead energy accumulated in the body. Chen Shang killed dozens of Sansheng believers, and accumulated enough dead energy, he sealed them all in a bottle. I don't know what kind of effect will be produced after refining the pill. Chen Shang did not return to the holy city of the Golden Bull to carry out, fearing that too many undead would be ushered in. He dug a cave in a barren hill outside the city and was working in it. Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, as long as the death energy is not in your body, the dead spirits should not be able to hurt you, right? Chen Shang nodded and said, it should be. Necromancers can't just kill a large number of people casually, otherwise the nobles of the stars and star monsters would have already launched the siege of the necromancers. Chen Shang released the Aoshi Divine Furnace, took out the small bottle that sealed the dead energy, poured a large amount of dead energy into the Aoshi Divine Furnace, and then used the sky refining technique to refine it. The Aoshi Divine Stove also insulates the dead energy very well, preventing it from overflowing. 2 days later, Chen Shang successfully refined a pill, which was very small, only the size of a grain of rice, pitch black, and only a trace of dead energy overflowed. Chen Shang took it out from the world-defying sacred stove, and then placed it on the mirror surface of the divine mirror of 6 paths. The mirror surface of the mirror of 6 paths is emitting a strong white light at this moment, and Sister Xiaojing also wants to try to see if she can perceive the existence of the undead. Not long after, the intense white light released by the divine mirror of 6 paths suddenly dimmed a little. Although it was only a little bit, both Chen Shang and Xiaojing's younger sister could sense it, which meant that there must be something moving on the 6 paths mirror. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 5259, Underworld. Chen Shang and Sister Xiaojing unleashed the strongest soul power to conduct various sensory investigations, but they were unable to sense the undead. Now they can only judge that something is approaching through the light on the mirror of the 6 paths. It should be the undead. Chen Shang frowned and said, the death energy released by that pill is not strong, but it can also attract the undead. The breath of the divine pill refined by Chen Shang is all restrained, mainly to ensure that the energy inside the divine pill will not be lost. The divine elixir he refined with the death energy, the internal death energy has been refined by the technique of heaven alchemy, the quality has become very high, although the death energy emitted is very weak, it is much stronger than other death energy. Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, I can't establish contact with the undead, these things are really strange. In the past, Sister Xiaojing was always able to establish contact with various spirits very quickly, and gained the trust of the other party after communicating. But now she has not made any progress. She and Chen Shang are also very sure that there are dead spirits nearby. Chen Shang said, Sister Jing, maybe the undead are in the dead world, so they can't come here. There should be some power separating the dead world from our young world, it shouldn't be the power of space. In the past, the dead spirits could easily kill Master Ma and the others, and they appeared suddenly, which means that it is not particularly difficult to travel between the dead world and the sun world, and the relationship between the two worlds is not 2 dimensions. Sister Xiaojing said, when the necromancers shot to kill Master Ma and the others before, there was indeed no spatial fluctuation. Did the necromancers suddenly come from the realm of the dead? Or is it just the power of the necromancers coming from the realm of the dead to kill people? Chen Shang thought for a while, and said, maybe some medium is needed to establish contact with the dead spirit. I remember when I was a child, there was a spirit woman who communicated with the ghost by letting the ghost get on her body. Sister Xiaojing hurriedly said, Brother, this is too dangerous, you must never let the undead get on your body. Chen Shang said, but this is the only way at present. We have already refined the pill, and the undead also know the existence of that pill, they must want it very much, but they can't establish contact with us. Then we can ask Zhao King to borrow avatars. She has so many avatars. Is it okay to lend one to us? Sister Xiaojing laughed. We can even ask her to borrow those useless avatars. Chen Shang thought for a while, but he could only give it a try. He immediately went back to the city to find Palace Master Zhao King. He didn't intend to tell Palace Mistress Zhao King about this, but because the avatar is still very important to Palace Mistress Zhao King, she wanted to know what Chen Shang would do with her avatar. The main reason is that her avatars are very beautiful. Each avatar is like her work. Not only is her figure well proportioned, but her face and other aspects are also very beautiful. She doesn't want her avatars to be ruined. Chen Shang can only truthfully explain the situation. Knowing that Chen Shang wanted to establish contact with the undead, and by letting the undead get on his body, Palace Master Zhao King was very shocked and very curious about it. Why doesn't she want to know more about the dead spirits? Because the dead spirits are the trump card of the three saints and the nobles of the star people and star monsters. She had a clone killed before, so the power of the undead has always been her heart disease and always worried her. Palace Master Zhao King said with a smile, "Brother, you should have said this earlier. I thought you were going to mess around with my body." She looked at Chen Shang with a smirk. Chen Shang rolled his eyes speechlessly, and said, "Zhao King, do I look like that kind of person?" Palace Master Zhao King spread her hands and said, "But you are a man. Isn't that the way about men? That's why I have concerns." Chen Shang said, "Then you know now, I'm not that kind of person." Palace Master Zhao King just smiled ambiguously and said, "When my deity comes out, I will show you what a real woman is." In the eyes of Palace Master Zhao King, Chen Shang is an alchemist with a very high status, so she still admires it. Palace Master Zhao King arranged for a clone to come over, and then came to the secret room with Chen Shang. "Zhao King, your avatar is not bad, it may be destroyed." Chen Shang looked at the long-legged woman. She looked lost and a bit demented, but she was also very beautiful. "There is something wrong with my avatar, the soul part is damaged, it's no different from a walking dead." Palace Master Zhao King said, "Let her try." Chen Shang let this avatar eat the pill that Chen Shang refined from that grain of death energy. After Palace Mistress Zhao King controlled her to eat, she and Chen Shang watched quietly by the side. Not long after, the dull eyes of that avatar gradually became bright and sharp, and then gradually became charming and moving. Seeing her soft and smiling eyes, Palace Mistress Xiao Qing was stunned for a moment, and then stood in front of Chen Shang as if facing a formidable enemy. Palace Master Zhao King was still able to control this clone before, but she can't control it now, and has lost contact with this clone. The woman smiled lightly and said, "Palace Master Zhao King, I really didn't expect to have the opportunity to be attached to your avatar. I admire you very much, little sister. We are not enemies." Chen Shang asked, "Are you called undead?" The woman looked at Chen Shang, and said with a smile, "What a handsome alchemist. I thought Tianyan Shendon was made by an old man, but I didn't expect it to be such a handsome guy." Palace Master Zhao King was still very vigilant, and asked, "Since we are not enemies, then, why did you kill my clone before?" The woman shook her head lightly and said, "I wasn't the one who killed your avatar. I wasn't the one who killed the horse leader. You call us undead. Actually, we think you are all undead." Chen Shang asked, "Can you observe us? Why, do you think we are also undead?" The woman shook her head and said, "We can't observe you, we can only sense your existence. Because after we die in our world, we will be reborn in your world, but all memories will be forgotten." Both Chen Shang and Palace Mistress Zhao King were stunned. After dying over there, would they come here? Chen Shang asked, "Then why do you want to kill people on our side?" The woman asked, "Because the yin qi on your side is of great help to our cultivation, which is what you call dead qi. For example, the Tianyan God pill is very helpful to our cultivation. Here, there are very few people who can refine the Tianyan divine pill." Chen Shang now also knows that the dead world over there is the same as the absolute beginning heaven and earth, it is also a very huge dead world. Palace Master Zhao King said, "How can we prevent your people from killing us? Their methods of killing are too powerful, and we have no way of sensing them." World Defying Dan God Chapter 5260, Yin and Yang Separated. As long as there is no dead energy in your body, your soul will not be taken away. In fact, those people did not die, they were just seduced by their souls. They are here on our side in another way. The woman looked at Chen Shen while talking. Shang, she seemed to be more interested in Chen Shang. Chen Shang was able to refine the Tianyan divine pill, Even on her side, there were very few alchemists who could refine such a high-quality Tianyan divine pill. Chen Shang said, "You call that pill the Tianyan divine pill, so what do you call your world?" The woman smiled and said, "In the beginning, that's what we call it. But, there is a saying that your side belongs to the yang world, and our side belongs to the yin world. So, after our people die, their souls will enter the underworld to be reborn. After you people from the underworld die, they will enter the yang realm to be reborn, and this cycle repeats." Chen Shang was very confused about this. How did the two worlds of yin and yang form? He can feel it now, and the underworld seems to be very strong. The woman said, "It's almost like this. At present, the two worlds of yin and yang are still in a state of balance. But there will always be a day of imbalance. You should understand what I mean." Palace Master Zhao King said, "If there are too many souls on our side, or too many souls on your side, it will cause an imbalance, right?" The woman nodded and said, "If it is out of balance, the space between yin and yang will become very chaotic, and it will fall into chaos. In the beginning, heaven and earth will adjust the yin and yang worlds." Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King glanced at each other. This so-called adjustment is to kill a large number of living beings in the yin and yang realms, and then rebalance the soul. The woman continued, "If the Taichu heaven and earth adjust after the imbalance, 90% of the creatures in the yin and yang realms will die." Chen Shang said, "So, the high levels of the yin and yang realms have been communicating all the time. In order to maintain balance and not be adjusted by the Taichu heaven and earth, the two sides should have reached some kind of tacit agreement, right?" The woman nodded and said, "Yes. If too many people die on your side, our celestial masters can figure it out, and your celestial masters can also figure it out. The stars, the star monsters, the queen, and even the three saints, they should be able to communicate with the underworld." Palace Master Zhao King said, "Then what kind of power are you?" The woman said, "There are also several forces in the underworld. They also fight with each other, and they will use your power to kill people on their side, just like people on your side use the power of the underworld to kill people." Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King were surprised again. This world of absolute beginning actually hides such a secret. Obviously, this kind of secret requires a very high-level person to know. Seeing the shocked expressions of Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King, the woman smiled and said, "You don't have to worry too much. As long as you don't have the so-called death energy in your body, there is nothing you can do about it. Moreover, you can also deal with us." Quote. Chen Shang said, "What should I do?" The woman smiled slightly, and said, "The seduction method is to hook their souls, or directly attack their souls in the underworld through death energy. How to do it? I can teach you, but I need 100 grains of Heaven Yin God pill." Chen Shang thought for a while, and said, "Can you ensure that your method is effective?" The woman said, "Guaranteed to work." Palace Master Zhao King asked, "How can we give you the Tianyan divine pill?" The woman smiled and said, "It's very simple, you just need to eat it for this body, and I will absorb it with my upper body." Chen Shang was puzzled and said, "Your yin realm seems to be stronger than our yang realm. You have a way to absorb death energy with your upper body. Then can we do the same?" The woman shook her head and said, "No, because our Taichu soul is special and can enter the yang realm more easily. Now, half of my soul has entered the yang realm. Because the Tianyan God pill has a very strong absolute yin power, I can pass through this yin realm. Only by building a bridge with strength can my soul stay for a long time and be able to communicate with you." Palace Master Zhao King said, "This body can be dedicated to you. The premise is that you have to teach us how to deal with those undead." Palace Master Zhao King still hopes to use undead to refer to people in the underworld. The woman said, "Okay, I'll take this Tianyan pill first, it counts as one. I'll teach you the method now. Shall we pass it on now? We haven't prepared 100 Tianyan pills yet." Chen Shang hurriedly said, "I believe in you. I have the ability to tell whether a person is trustworthy. This is a very strong perception." The woman smiled and said, "This young man is trustworthy, so I can pass on the method now. For you guys." Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King were very happy. For them, the mysterious undead were too dangerous, and now they have a way to deal with them. Of course it is the best. The woman's name is Yun Shuken, and she is actually the head teacher of a sect in the underworld, with a cultivation base of the 70th level of the absolute beginning realm. Palace Master Zhao King's cultivation is only more than 30 degrees in the early stage, and this Yun Shuken's cultivation is dozens of times higher than her. Yun Shuken was also very shocked when she learned that Chen Zhang's cultivation was only at level 20. She was only a small part of the soul in that body, but her perception was still relatively limited, so she couldn't see through Chen Zhang's cultivation. She thought before that Chen Shang was at least 50 or 60 levels of the absolute beginning realm, but she was still a rookie. Even so, Yun Shuken still respects Chen Shang very much, because Chen Shang is an alchemist and has never been in contact with Tianyan divine pill, but he can refine it with his own understanding. Chen Shang also told Yun Shuken that her original intention of refining Tianyan divine pill was to establish contact with their yin realm, and then she succeeded. When hearing what Chen Shang said, Yun Shuken was moved, relying on her own groping and thinking, she could directly succeed. This kind of understanding and talent was something Yun Shuken had never heard of before. Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King also recorded the method taught by Yun Shuken. After listening to it, they confirmed that the yin realm is much stronger than the yang realm. Chen Shang also realized that the time in the yin world might be different from that in the yang world. After the formation of heaven and earth in the early days, the yin and yang realms should have been carried out at the same time, but the yin realm can be so much stronger than the yang realm, and it is very likely that the yin realm has a longer development time. Chen Shang asked, "Teacher Yun, do you know about the Star Gate? According to our records, the city where the Star Gate was built will suddenly become an empty city. What's going on?" Yun Shuken sighed. When the Star Gate is opened, there will be chaos in the yin and yang worlds, and then there will be a large number of dead spirits that you call rushing over and seduce the soul. That kind of scene is very scary, because the construction of the Star Gate was not thorough enough caused. Both Chen Shang and Palace Master Zhao King were secretly amazed, but they just couldn't figure it out. The palace should know these things, why didn't they record them in the books?